Daniel,
Gemini,
how are you?
not bad, you.
Not bad.
Are we finally going to have some improvement on your internet now?
I know the broadband apparently they didn't come round today,
Oh, good start.
but at the minute it's working well because no one else no one else is in the house.
Oh, perfect. Right, let's load up fucking my laptop. Come on, turn on. We're going to be low on numbers tonight.
How many have we got?
Kelly's not racing, Biggs is not racing. Uh,
Is Mazda here?
Mazda is unsure
Yep.
due to his baby being induced.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Spanish Grand Prix?
No.
It's bye bye Catalonia, hello Madrid Street Circuit.
Madrid. Fuck's sake.
Mhm. Madrid Street Circuit. I'm already in.
Yeah.
If I go quiet at any point, I'm just running downstairs to let my dog out for a week, or let my stepdad's dogs out for a week, because one of them's just had surgery, so I've just got to keep an eye on them whilst they're outside.
Yeah, man, that's not a problem. Right. Oh, come on. Let's start. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Got 7.
That's gonna be fun. Smokey's running late. Argent might be running late. That'll be 9. Gary, I don't know where Gary is.
Gary's normally quite.
Yeah, he's normally late.
Yeah, he's normally just like on the nose of it.
Yeah, I've lost my fucking pen. I'm assuming, Matt, we're going live as soon as you change the cameras. So I've lost my fucking pen. Shit. Not many to review in Pro-Am, by the way.
No.
God damn it. Oh, it's underneath my thigh. Oh! Oh, God. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and we are live for another round of the GT3 Pro Championship. We are live here for the an interesting round of the season, but joining me in the commentary box once again, we thought we weren't going to have him, but he is here and he is ready to go. It is my good friend and rival, Big Boy Brazier, aka Jamie. Jamie, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Daniel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. And an interesting race we have ahead of us. We head to Silverstone Classic, aka Thruxton, as we call it. A little bit low on numbers at this stage, but hopefully we should have a few more coming in. But we're not going to get too many this evening, as people are away doing other things. Origin is on his way back from holiday. He should land in the next few hours and should be able to make it for race 2. Smoky Devil's running a little bit late, but he says he should be able to make it to qualifying. But nonetheless, we have got an interesting night's worth of racing ahead of us, Jamie, and what a circuit we come to, a track that we normally see in touring cars and Clios, but now the GT3s have to go round here.
Yeah, the GT3s have to go round it. Normally in the touring cars on the Clios, you can just fully send it round through this corner, get in the Clio all sideways as Matt gets his Mercedes all sideways and heads off towards the crowd. He comes on just in front of Overtaker. But yeah, so it's a different kettle of fish driving the GT3s around here than a touring car or a Clio or a Clio Cup car for that matter. Yeah,
definitely so. As we are live here for this round, and in the touring cars and Clios, this track is a load of fun, and I think in the GT3s they're going to suffer more with the bumps here than anything. Being a very old school track, they're really going to struggle with that.
Yeah, they definitely are indeed. It's a good thing that Silverstone isn't as bumpy anymore, because the F1 cars will be having a hell of a time when they come here in a couple of weeks.
They are indeed, and as it stands, these two have the two that are currently on track, Mate Himovic and Overtaker, are the ones that are really taking the championship fight to one another. There's no real other standout this season. Obviously we lost Andy and Disco earlier on in the season, but these two are the main championship contenders, and they had an interesting race last time out in Spa, and I think tonight, where the Lamborghini had the advantage, I think this Mercedes might have the advantage tonight.
Yeah, the Mercedes more than likely will have the advantage. Lamborghini will be good around here though, because the Lamborghini is very good on its straight line speed, but we know how quick the Mercedes is back gets sideways through that corner again. But yeah, it's definitely a Lamborghini track. But yeah, these two, after having a bit of a ding dong battle at Spa, trying to swap paint with each other and trying to get each other's autographs from each other's cars by trying to reach in as they're driving.
That's the deal. I think definitely toe is going to be the main thing here tonight, and as we can see, currently Overtaker setting a lap time of a 23.0, so that was a quick lap time from him. But loads of space at the minute, no cars currently out behind one another. It was Matt and Overtaker who was relatively close. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night, and I don't think that this car here is going to be the strongest of cars. The Ferrari, I think, will struggle with its power, as Monkey Boy seems to be a lot on the brakes, possibly trying to heat those brakes up there.
Yeah, he is, or possibly he's trying to slow down for his teammate, because his team, as you see, his teammate just come over the brow of the hill there. Monkey Boy should get up to speed coming through here. That I think he's going to try and give a bit of a toe to Peaceful. Peaceful's not actually close enough for the toe yet, so you can see Monkey Boy's just still slowing down. Now he looks like he's up to racing speed to give Peaceful a little bit of a toe. And as you can probably see as well, Monkey Boy has also changed his username. It's not too different to what it was, so that's handy for us.
Yeah, not too difficult for us to remember, but it is definitely a lot easier to definitely read Monkey Boy, as he is giving his teammate a little bit of a toe, and this is something that Peaceful hasn't had to try and test earlier on. He's been really struggling to decide which tyre to run here, and I think it would be definitely a very difficult tyre to choice, as I think the hard tyre would be definitely the better race tyre, but for one lap pace, the soft tyre should be the better option.
Oh yeah, definitely. The hard tyres get up. Oh, as Monkey Boy gets some wiggle, and he's now going to get out of the way of his teammate. But yeah, the hard tyre, when I found that once you've done about 3 laps on them, they get up to racing speed. They're a bit slidey and all over the place, but see, as soon as you get a hold on them, they should be better. So yeah, they'll be the better race tyre, but the soft tyre for certain is going to be the better quality tyre. But then the Mercedes, we know how much that works its tyres, might be hard tyres for qualifying.
Yeah, possibly so. I know I was testing in the Porsche 911 and the hard tyres were the only tyre for me that seemed to be working. But nonetheless, we got an interesting race, a night's worth of racing here. Like I said, we're still missing a few drivers at this stage, but we should hopefully get all of them in. And a couple of them are currently away, as it is Goodwood Festival Speed weekend. So no KLF, no Biggs. They're all currently up at Goodwood. So we should hopefully have Gary, Smokey and Argent, so that should bring up the rest of the grid. Emplava's got a national holiday in Latvia, so no Emplava. We should also have Max, but Max hasn't turned up yet, so don't know where all these guys are, but probably the best idea though.
Yeah, and we just lost another car. We just lost Steve, guys, so we're now down to 6 at the minute. So hopefully some more guys will get in, but so if it is 6, then hopefully these 6 drivers put on a good race for us.
Hopefully so, as Overtake is still fastest man at the minute, but we don't know what fuel run he is, and he is fastest at the moment, and he is your championship leader, and he's got a quite a comfortable gap at the moment to his championship rival at the minute, Matahimovic, who is 64 points behind in the championship. So it's those two are leading the way, and currently in 3rd place position is Fury CBK, 4th is D Biggs, 5th is Andy, 6th is Emplava, 7th is Gary 131, 8th is Peaceful Explosion, 9th is Emo Guy, 10th is Mazda, 11th is KLF, 12th is Sati Apex, 13th is Smoky Devil, 14th is Argent, Monkey Boy in 15th place position, and Max Moldler bringing up the rear. He hasn't scored a point yet, so hopefully he should be able to get in, but hopefully he will. But as the team's championship looks, it's still very close between Silence of the Lambos and Jaeger Motorsports. Currently 59 points separating them. And Teletubby Motorsport currently in 3rd with Smoking Hot Racing in 4th. 5th is Pushing Limits Racing, and 6th is Audio Sport Pro Lab. 7th is Simplay Racing, and 8th is Slingshot Motorsport, and 9th is Sneaker Academy, which will be Max Moldler and his teammate, who both will be coming into the Pro. And Jamie, the thing about this Silverstone Classic layout is I think you really have to be in a flow here. I think not with these GTs, it won't matter too much about toe and slipstream, but definitely so for like touring cars and Clios, it's all about being in a toe. But for this type of circuit, I think high speed corners, long straights, it's all about being in a groove at this circuit, I believe.
Oh yeah, definitely. These 2 corners that Overtake has just come around, it's very easy just to run wide on them. So you've got to have the perfect line through here. As Overtaker gets the rear out at the, say, he's right up against the line. So as well, you've got to be right on the limit of this track, because if you're not, you're going to be half a second down. You've got to use all the best of your driving ability around this track and wring the neck of the car.
Yes, you do. As we always seem to compare this track with with Thruxton, don't we? It's very much a Thruxton feel to it, as it's very high speed corners, very and the final chicane is very Thruxton-esque as well. So there's a couple of guys that are now getting back into the session, which is good to see. But nonetheless, it's definitely a circuit that it will not just challenge them physically, but mentally as well, because will they want that toe as well? And it'll be a very much different circuit to what they go to next, which will be Hockenheim, will be the next round of the championship. As Overtaker, you can see they're just testing the limits.
Yeah, so you're at that corner there, you want to be right in the slipstream to make a move coming down towards the back straight. Say that Mercedes, if it gets behind someone there, so the likes of Matt, Fury and Gary, who's now just disconnected. If they're behind you coming through there, you've lost that place, unfortunately. The Lamborghini might be able to fight it as Overtaker just within the limits there. Yeah, the Lamborghini might be able to overtake it, but that Ferrari will be a sitting duck coming around that bit of track.
It will be indeed, as Overtaker once again just trying to name that final chicane, as he's carrying quite high fuel at the minute. So what is his lap time going to be? He's good 2/10 off his best with that fuel load as well, and that's a decent race pace at the minute, as Matt's just taking his time at the minute and maybe possibly looking for a toe. But still, these guys are just struggling to get into the session here, so hopefully it won't get too bugged out. But they do have 10 minutes left of the session. Possibly Gary's wheel hasn't synced up properly, and I'm not sure if Emo guy's having issues. He was having issues before. But if we're going into this race, Jamie, there's like I said, a lot to play for. The Pro-Ams had a very interesting race last night, and we saw a brand new winner, taking him a very, very long time to get there, with Keegs, aka Lucas Roth, taking both race wins here in the Mercedes, and it was definitely a Mercedes dominant track, and it's finally nice to see Keegs finally get that race win.
Yeah, it's lovely to see Keegs get the race win, especially to get a double race win, to get the London buses. Yeah, it's nice to see him get the London buses, especially after everything he's been through these past couple of weeks. Say him in hospital when we were here for the touring cars, and he comes back here and gets a double win. So yeah, that was very good from Keegs last night. And yeah, it was definitely a Mercedes on the track. We saw Dean was up there for a little while as well, and none of the other cars could really get close to that Mercedes.
They did not. But another thing to mention as well, while we're in the chat, the man who's just gone P2 is Fury, and a current new champion in the British Touring Car Championship. Fury was crowned Tuesday night for winning the British Touring Car Championship, and what a championship to win as well, as Fury's coming down the back straight, and Fury's really matured throughout the couple of seasons he's been here at Simplay Motorsport, and I think winning the Touring Car Championship as well is just probably give him a new lease of life to try and attack the championship leaders of Matt and Overtaker, because he's still able to attack them towards the end of the season, but he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's got to be very, very consistent now. Say in the touring cars on Tuesday night, we saw him attack during that second race a lot. It all worked out for him, and the title went down to the final few laps, and Fury won it with the overtake on yourself. Oh, as he clips the wall there, you don't want to be doing that, and he's 6 down. Now Sutty has gone third. Sutty's got a lovely toe here of Peaceful Explosion, so that Ferrari has got a tow hook on the back, and Sutty's caught onto it, and that Ferrari's pulling him along.
Well, in a minute, we might have to bail out on the we might have to bail out on the online championship. As Gary saying in the chat that he is struggling to get in the lobby, it's just saying unloading. So we'll let these guys finish practice, and we'll have to resort to a open lobby, I think, because I think it's not wanting to work here. Sutty is actually using the toe of the Ferrari at this stage, but
he drifts around the corner, knocks the flopping markers down, and Peaceful's able to get back up the inside. So that's what I mean by if you've got to be very, very clean for that corner. And as you can see there, Sutty's now back up the inside. But we saw this in touring car, how how everyone was just able to duck under one another. It's like he said, looks like he's heading for the grass. There's emo guy is left to get in, so he must be struggling to get in. Now, Matt or Sutty is going to absolutely love this corner as he does send it up the inside of Peter there, but Peter's heading for the pit. And it's a very interesting pit entry. You look at that, it's a very windy pit entry and very easy to stick it in the wall.
Yeah, definitely. So as I'm just gonna have if he's listening to this right now, we're gonna have to just change lobby a minute because obviously we can't run this as the guys can't get in the chat. So we're gonna have to go to a break momentarily so that we can get the lobby going. But that at the minute is your practice session, and we'll have a 10-minute practice session for the guys who did not get a chance. But we'll be with you back in a moment's time.
One second.
Come on. Oh, it's an open lobby, mate. Yeah.
Right, they're all done.
Lap 4, I think. What's 20% of 22?
So do 2%, do 10%, which is 2.2.
Yeah, that's
20% is
lap
4.4.
4. Yeah. So 2.2 times by 7.
Hold on.
My maths is being really shit right now. Times 7.
Give me
15. So it's lap 4 to lap 15.
Alright. just need to let me his thingy.
Yeah. Should have had it, mate. Ah, got
Yeah,
it. Sweet.
thank you.
Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. We should be back in live and running. We've got 10 minutes left of this practice session for the guys who didn't quite make it in, for the likes of Gary and Emo Guy. But we are now back. Sadly, we ain't going to be using the online championship, and typical way things go, Jamie. And technology just does not want to work when you want it to.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. But at least it means now that Gary and Emo Guy are in, so we're now up to 9 for the night. And Smoky Devil in as well. Oh, and I think that was Monkey Boy just losing it in front of Matt.
He did indeed. As we get back underway here, and I might have got any of the settings wrong, but hopefully I have not. So we'll just have to wing with it for now. But we got Gary back in after winning the last race of the season at Knockhill, and these guys really aggressively trying to warm their tyres up. Yeah, where were we? We now got Gary and Emo Guy into the session, so that's something. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. And also, the biggest thing that I forgot to mention as well is I say a massive hello to the guys in the chat. Phil, PN, Peaceful's stepdad, and Gary as well. Thank you to all of them in the chat. And if you guys are in the chat, let's hear from you and get your opinions on tonight's race. And the other thing I forgot to mention, Jamie, is the grid is staggered. A very different track here, and it's going to be chaos at the start. Whoa!
Oh, Gary's just come across on Matt. Do you know what? The Mercedes doing a Red Bull and a Honda there, so Matt is
I was going to say, you know what they've done? They've done a Matt Neal and Gordon Shedd in there, haven't they?
Yeah. You'll hear, if you watch it back, you can just hear in the back. If you watch Matt's stream, you'll just hear, and he goes down you just hear him shouting, and he goes down the inside of Gordon Shedd, and they've hit each other.
And Smoky Devil also back into the session as well, and I see Smoky Devil get on track. Sadly, I said no Emplava to help him out tonight, as he's got his national holiday. So sadly, he's unable to race, but I hope he's enjoying himself nonetheless. And Smoky Devil should be in a very good opportunity here with that Mercedes engine. He should be able to really stick it with the likes of Matt and Gary tonight.
Yeah, he should be able to. He should be right up the front end. But yeah, so hopefully he can keep out of any contact. If not, he'll be at the back wishing he'd kept his nose a bit cleaner.
Definitely so. As like I said, this is a very good opportunity. While there's no drivers here, this is a good opportunity for people to gain points, especially people like Peaceful and Monkey Boy, as they will need to get as many points as they possibly can. And with the likes of Biggs and Kelly and Argent and Emprava not here, and also Max, who again I still don't know where Max is. He should be racing tonight, but yeah, it's definite big points for these guys to get on the board.
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta be here to get the points. You got to finish to get the points. So, whilst I hope that everyone, Biggs and Kelly, are having a nice time at Goodwood, and I wish I was there. But as well, Kieran having a nice time on holiday. Kieran has a nice time on holiday, and Max could be on the international space. It could be on the International Space Station for all we know. But yeah, so whilst all those are having fun, people are still turning up and gaining their points. And at the end of the season, they might think, "Oh, I shouldn't have gone to Goodwood. Now look, I'm down to Pro-Am."
Definitely so, as Overtaker carries on once again, fastest man of the session. But Peaceful's a little bit closer, but I think Overtaker still yet to set a real good lap time at this stage.
Yeah, so I think a good lap time is probably a 22. There you see, Smoky Devil goes into 24s. I think a good lap time is probably the high 23s, high 22s, low 23s.
Yeah, Keegs was in the, I think he was in the 23s, 22s at stages last night in Pro-Am, but he was pretty much the only man who was getting into those lap times. We did have a few in the 23s and 24s, but yeah, it was definitely a night of the Mercedes power, and I think it's going to continue here. But I think Overtaker is really going to send it to the Mercedes boys here tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's got to try and extend that margin even more, because the margin, as Overtaker does, a 23.8, and he had a lovely Torsati whose bumper looks like it's being hung on by pins. Yeah, so he's had a lovely tow, and he's got Peaceful in front of him, and Peaceful is in the back bumper of Matt. But Gary goes even quicker with a 23.6, so they're throwing the gauntlet down to Overtaker at the minute. So we have to see what Matt can do, because at the minute Matt hasn't done a time, and he's battling with the prancing horse of Peaceful.
He is indeed, and that's probably the worst car to be getting a tow off at this minute. But Matt goes down the inside, and Gary. The thing about Gary here, he's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of knowledge and experience at this track, as he's done a lot in the touring cars here, and he's done it in previous leagues as well. So if anything, him and Fury are probably the best ones suited for this. Maybe Emo Guy as well, because I think he's possibly done a couple of touring car races in another league, but they are well adapted here. I know Matt's done a few as well in another previous league, so these guys have all got a little bit of an advantage over the others.
Yeah, so it's Gary, Peaceful, Monkey Boy, Sutty, and Matt who will have that advantage of coming here a bit more often. Matt got all sideways coming through there. He goes across the line, but he's only 1.6 down, and Overtaker goes even quicker with a 23.4, and he's getting a double tow.
He is getting that double tow off the back of the two cars in front of him, and it's nice to see that these guys are able to follow one another here. And I think this is, like I said, it's going to be key to be in the tow for the likes of Peaceful and Monkey Boy. They're just going to have to do what they can with what they've got. We know that Ferrari is slow in a straight line, but it's all about the corners, I reckon, for them. It's just being there when others make a mistake.
Yeah, so say what Peaceful and Monkey Boy have got to hope for. They've got to hope for a decent start, and then they've just got to stretch that Ferrari to as wide as the track can go down the straights. Through the corners, they should have no problem, but down here they need to stretch it to the width of the track to make sure no one gets past them.
For sure, as they see their Overtaker really sideways in that Lamborghini, and Matt gets stuck behind the back of the Ferrari, so he's unable to find a way through there as they now head to the final chicane. And we see PN in chat says Jamie, maybe meet at Snetterton on Sunday. Says PN Motorsport in the chat. So it's always good for people to meet one another as we do a regular meet at Donington Park, and we might be able to do it twice next season.
I've already spoken to my girlfriend. Said that's the second trip to Donington's our summer holiday.
Already roped her into that already. Nice. Yeah. As sadly, obviously, the Touring Car Championship has come to an end, and like I said, Fury is your champion in that. And also, we have a new championship about to start this Sunday, actually, as we start the F2 Championship. Myself and Jamie will be racing it, but sadly, no Jamie for the first round. But make sure you tune in on Sunday, the same time that the F1s would have been live, but we're going to be slightly later as Matt will be in Donington as he's watching the Ferrari Challenge.
Yeah, he's got VIP tickets to go watch Ferrari Challenge, courtesy of his boss.
Yep, after his hard work over at Racing Unleashed, he has been able to go and watch the Ferrari Challenge as Gary's gone fastest now. And I've just put a poll up for pole position for race 1. Is it going to be Matt, Overtaker, or Gary, or even Fury? As we're just coming to the end of practice, Jamie, who do you think is going to take pole position?
Ooh, I'm going to have to say Overtaker. He's looked quick in every qualifying. Matt goes up the order, but he's still he's still 1.1 off the pace. What fuel is Gary running? Gary is running about 13 litres of fuel. So he's not running a minimum amount of fuel, but he's not running a great deal. So I'd quite like to know what fuel Overtaker did his lap on, because they are very close indeed.
They are indeed, and like I said, if you're going to go Overtaker, then I'm going to have to settle down for Gary 131 for this one. I'm going to support the man who beat me at the last round of the British Touring Car Championship. It's currently 19 people currently watching the stream. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified. As Gary, I think, is just not quite going to get a lap time in towards the end of the session. So this will be his last lap, or has he got one in?
No, and he lost all his time in the final set. Fury now is within a tenth of Gary. So the top 3 are covered by less than a tenth of a second, and Fury is up on his time. So Fury's now chucked his hat into the ring.
Fury has also gone very well here at Silverstone Classic in the past. He takes a lot of curve there. He does not sound happy, that car, and he just goes a little bit sideways on exit.
Yeah, he does. He's looking to mow the grass again. He gets all siders coming through there, keeping it just on the limit. Matt is a further 7/10 back, so I'll be hoping to find some more pace. What is Fury doing through this sector? He's lost about a tenth of a second, so he's now got to have a perfect final chicane. Smacks that apex perfectly, gets on that one perfectly through there. Don't know whether he improved or not.
He didn't. He will stay third. So it is Gary who is fastest of that session. Overtaker in second, and third is Fury. So this is going to be interesting. Overtaker was fastest in the previous session. Obviously, having the change session now, we go into qualifying, and Gary's looking favoured at the minute, but Overtaker is right there. So it's going to be interesting. This Holty's just dropped in the chat saying, evening all. After taking another podium, Holty was on a roll last night. Really starting to get to grips with his Mercedes-Benz. And I think the problem with the Mercedes-Benz, there's so many people driving it that it's going to be difficult to find the right setup for yourself. As like I said, so many people have it different ways. Matt is one of the only few people who can run hard tyres, as is Fury, while everyone else can only run the softs.
Yeah, so it'd be quite interesting if we saw if there were some of the other cars out. So, for example, if we had the 2 Audis out there, it would be interesting to see what they can do. And so we're seeing the Porsche in the past. I reckon that would go pretty well around here. Say the Bentley as well. I can imagine the Bentley doing a lot around here.
The one car I would love to see.
I know what you're thinking, Aston Martin.
The Aston Martin, arguably probably the fastest car in a straight line, or even the GTR is up there as well. What could those cars? Mercedes SLS is very quick in a straight line, but all of these will never get answered.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out as well. Have you seen what car PM's driving for Assetto Corsa?
He's driving the old Aston Martin, isn't he? He's driving the
Aston Martin that you quite like, Dan.
I'll tell you what.
Which was a bit of a surprise when he sent me the picture of it. Fury, get all sidos through there. Overtaker is the first to cross the line at the minute. Pixel hasn't left the pit, but perhaps he's waiting for a gaggle of cars to come through. But Overtaker is given a lovely tow to Smoky Devil, and Fury is getting a nice tow as well.
He is indeed, and this is not going to help Overtaker whatsoever, as he will be towing the rest of his challengers around, and if he has got a fast setup, they're just going to be right in his tow and improving their lap times. There's Argent in the chat says, waiting for a lift at the airport, will hopefully make round 2, so we'll see if Argent can make it for race 2. But at the minute, Overtaker is going to be the first man to cross the line and set a lap time, and at the minute, he's got the 2 Mercedes hunting him down just behind him. What can Matt do in his Mercedes as Overtaker starts to take an advantage in the championship? As both Mercedes looks like they've ran wide a little bit. Smoky Devil did.
Smoky Devil did. I don't think Fury did. And a good thing for Overtaker here, which is possibly after this lap, back off, let these 2 Mercedes go, because he's got his teammate right behind him. As Emo Guy is now, as Emo Guy is massively lagging, so we'll come off him. And as well, you see the 2 Mercedes giving each other a bit of a tow. I think it's Matt's giving Gary a tow. Overtaker is going to come to the line first. What lap time does he put in? He goes straight in with a 22.7.
22.7. Fury can't get close to it. 23.4 from him, as PN says, I'll be running with Am Place on it, says PN, as I can't even talk now, as the ACC Championship will be coming, as Gary's dropped it in the chicane, and I think Peaceful's right there as well, and Peaceful might have to avoid him.
Yeah, Peaceful might well have had to avoid him, and I think he has, but I think Peaceful's actually on an outlap, because remember when him waiting in the pits, but Gary's now gone to the pits. Sutty's gone up to 4th, so at the minute it's Overtaker on pole from Fury, from Matt, from Sutty.
As they head into the next lap that they're trying to do.
Yeah, Overtaker's pulled a bit more of a gap over Fury, and I think Fury's got Smoky Devil behind, and then the lag mobile of Emo Guy is right behind, so that might cause a few issues tonight if he is lagging as bad as we've seen.
For sure, as Overtaker comes over the crest now, he's up on 2/10 here, as Fury is not too far behind. Fury, I think, just might need a little bit of a tow here, as Mummy D's in the chat. Fury's mum is in the chat as well. They're saying good luck to all, and go Fury. If Overtaker improves even more, but Fury's made the mistake as Smoky Devil crosses the line, and he goes to P5, and Matt is in P3 at the minute.
Yeah, I don't know who's behind it. Emo Guy hasn't improved, and he's 2.8 off the pace. Can Matt improve? He's 1.3 off the pace at the minute, goes quicker, but it's only 1.6, so he's still behind Fury. Peaceful comes to the line.
No improvement from Peaceful.
There is a car at the chicane. I imagine that is Sutty, and Sutty is round at the chicane.
These curbs have really been catching people out, as at the minute Gary with 38% of the votes will end the votes there. He is favoured to take pole position, and at the minute he's not on pole. He's really struggling here.
Yeah, he is really struggling. Monkey Boy now gets a lap time in that's good enough for 8th place.
Yeah, the Monkey Boy.
Overtaker is now on an outlap. So is that Fury at the front? He's got Emo Guy in front of him, so Emo Guy could hold him up here to improve. And you can see Emo Guy's jumping about the place as Fury just gives him a tap in the rear.
He gives it a little tap, probably caught out by his lag there, and Fury now goes through, and this ain't going to be an improvement whatsoever, as you can see there, 1.7 off of his best.
Yeah, who have we got next in line? Is that Emo? Is it Emo Guy's gone back to the pits? So that would be Smoky. No, Smoky Devil's gone back to the pits. Who is that we've got coming towards the chicane? That is Peaceful.
Peaceful Explosion into the chicane now. Can he find any improvement? Staying off those curves. He's currently P5. Has he found any more time? He's found 2/10 and stays P5 at the minute. He needs to find a lot more time to get up to Sutty Apex, who's currently in P4. As I think Gary 131 is possibly coming through the final sector there. He's given Matt a tow.
I think that's it. Yeah, Overtaker comes across the line to start another lap. Yeah, no, it's the roles have been reversed, because Matt was giving Gary a tow.
As Gary
Matt doesn't improve. Gary gets a lap time in 7th place, but we know Gary's got more pace than that.
He definitely has got more pace than that, and I think he's just trying to sort a lap out himself as he lets Matt through. And I think for Gary, it's going to be the last lap dash, and he's back into the pits. Was he on the hard tyre? Was he trying to get it fired up? That's the question. Maybe he has to run the soft, as Emo Guy is really struggling there. He's dropped the rear.
Yeah, what's Fury? As he comes through that sector, he's 8/10 down, so he's not going to improve on this lap. So at the minute, it's looking good for Overtaker.
It is looking very good, but remember, Jamie, we do have that staggered. Whoa! The Fury barely misses the tyre wall there, trying to keep all that time, and he loses it all in the final sector.
Yeah, who have we got now? I think that is that Smoke? No, I can't remember who it is. Who's Monkey? No. We'll go on board with Overtaker as he's coming down the straight. It's quite difficult to find T. Oh, his Overtaker goes onto the grass, so he's not going to improve on his lap time at all.
As a reminder of the pit window, the pit window will open on lap 4 and will close on lap 15. So these guys will try to keep their nose as clean as they possibly can. 22 laps around here as well, so it's going to be a long night's worth of racing. And can they keep their noses clean? As the stewards will be harshening up the penalties, as the driving standards in recent races hasn't been up to the best standards. But we will see how things go.
Yeah, hopefully everyone can be a bit more under control tonight. Smokey improves, he goes 3/10 quicker. He's now only a couple of hundredths off Peaceful. Who have we got that's coming towards the end of the lap? We've got Emo Guy. Is Emo Guy still lagging? I think we've got Fury in front. So we'll jump on with Fury. Can Fury improve any more? No, he's still 9/10 down. What about Emo Guy? Emo Guy's struggling at the minute. No improvement.
All these guys just seem to struggle to improve right now. And Gary really needs to put a really good lap time in, because he set a massive banker earlier on in practice, and now he just can't seem to do it.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of improvements now, as Matt's still 2/10, not 2/10 down, 200ths down. Possibly he was impeded by the Ferrari on this lap, because he needs to get that chicane right. He's got it right. Can he improve on his time? He does by 62 thousandths of a second and jumps Fury. Where's Gary on track? Gary's coming down the back straight. There's a car in the pits. Monkey Boy, he's not going to get out at all.
He isn't going to get out until Monkey Boy is done for this session. So Gary 131, is this his only shot? As he comes to the line, this will be his last lap into the final chicane. Has he left it to the very last moment to put it on pole position? Gary 131 towards the line. He goes P2. So yeah, that's the best he can do. Has he got another lap?
He's got another lap because his lights haven't gone off.
Gary's got one more lap. He's going to be the last man to cross the line. Fury is going to be the first to cross the line and finish the session. And he's gone sideways again.
And he's the first. And he's not going to be the first to finish his lap. He's going to be the first to finish his lap in the wall. Peaceful now coming into the final chicane. Gets it right through there. Sutty's gone up to third. So Sutty has jumped Matt. So Matt will be starting fourth. Who have we got coming towards the end of the lap? The Smoky Devil. What's Smoky going to do? Coming through the end of the second sector. Oh, he's a minute down. He's not going to improve at all unless he goes back in time to improve his lap time. Smokey comes to the line.
Yep, and Smoky Devil does not improve. He will have to stay P7 for now. I think Gary and Matt, no, not Matt, it's Gary coming towards the line. I think it's also Overtaker. Can he extend his gap at the minute? He's 8/10 ahead of Gary 131. Into the final chicane we go. Overtaker towards line. Has he found any more time? No, he hasn't. Gary is pitted, and that is it. Overtaker will take pole position here at Silverstone Classic, but once again, the lineup is going to be very interesting, as we do have 9 drivers here, so it'll be top 5. Won't be able to qualify for the race at this moment of time, but it is Overtaker who takes pole position with Gary in second. Third is Sutty. Fourth is Matimovic. Fifth is Fury. Sixth is Peaceful. Seventh is Smoky Devil. Eighth is Emo Guy, and ninth is Monkey Boy. And we go into this race, Jamie, and look at that grid. They're staggered. They're standing side by side. And do you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing that Gary's going to be starting second, because he will get the run to the inside into turn 1.
Yeah, as well. Matt's kind of got a clear run as well. So the likes of Fury and Peaceful, they're right behind another car. So they could be impeded if Gary doesn't get a good start and Overtaker doesn't get a good start. Fury and Peaceful could be very impeded. This grid kind of reminds me of how they used to set up the Ginetta Junior races. I think they used to use staggered grids for them.
Yes, they did. Yeah. As they had so many cars on the grid, they had to do it staggered, so they did it that way around. But we are about to get underway for the 13th round of the GT3 Pro Championship here at Silverstone Classic, aka Thruxton, and I'm currently just putting a poll up on who you think is going to take the race win here. I really do like this poll. It really helps out pick it's better than asking, because obviously we do want people to respond, but they never seem to do.
Yeah, so the polls a good way. All people have got to do is click to see who they want to take poll or take the win.
For sure, as the poll has gone out, Matt, Overtaker, Gary or Fury for the win. Sutty Apex is another option if you want to drop that in the chat, but so far someone's already voted for Gary and Keen for that already. As we are about to go live, as a couple of flashes of the grid. Your Fury, your British Touring Car Championship winner, is he going to go and take another race win here? Is Overtaker going to win? We are green here, and Sutty Apex, what a start from him from the second row. We got to see if he's jumped the start, but Sutty Apex gets the run. Gary with a poor start, but it's Matt also down the inside of Overtaker, and into turn 1 we go. And it is Sutty Apex who leads the way, with Overtaker now hanging on the outside to go into second place position. It's Lamborghini 1-2.
Yeah, it is Lamborghini 1-2, and the two Jaeger Motorsport Mercedes are going side by side. Gary looking down the inside. Emo Guy's there, Fury's there, and Gary has got ahead of Matt, but Matt's still there. Sutty is defending from Overtaker.
Sutty is defending from Overtaker. He just launched it into the inside of turn 3 there, and Overtaker could not find a way past, but Sutty Apex leads this race after a great start. Overtaker looking to the inside, but he's going to get absolutely mugged by the Mercedes as Matt goes wide, and he's lost the rear. Can he keep it out of trouble? He keeps it together and he drops back, but good stop, good catch there from Matt as Peaceful's dropped right to the back of the grid. But Gary's now starting to put pressure on Overtaker, and Overtaker runs very wide there. And now Gary's down the inside. He's going to get the job done up towards the chicane, and Overtaker is getting mugged left, right and centre here.
Fury is now going to go to the outside. The man in front of Overtaker is very good for making dives into this corner. Fury later on the brakes, can he hold it right around the outside? Overtaker keeps it on the inside, and Overtaker keeps the position for now.
He does keep the position for now. Overtaker sitting in third, and if Sutty had a drive-through, I would have been into the pits by now. But I don't know if PN is probably watching Matt's stream. If he is, let us know if Sutty Apex has a penalty. So it should be able to say DT on his thing, but Fury there with a poor exit has got Emo Guy breathing down his neck, and the Lamborghini's just seeming a lot stronger in the race at this stage as Emo Guy going around the outside. We should have the inside for Beckett, and he should get the job done there.
Yeah, he has, and you can see Matt in the background trying to catch up, but Fury is going to be on the inside. No, he's not, so he jumps back in the slipstream. And yeah, as you say, the Lamborghini is just looking a little bit stronger to begin with.
Yeah, starting off it looks better, but can it hold on to its tyres towards the end of the race? That is the question, as Overtaker is putting pressure on Gary 131, but Gary runs wide. That's going to invite Overtaker down the inside as they head towards, I believe, Abbey, and up the inside he goes. It's not Abbey. I can't remember the names of Silverstone. I'm poor at remembering them, but Sutty Apex, whether he had a drive-through or not, it says no DT, so he did have just an amazing start. So Sutty Apex has managed to jump everyone at the start, and he leads this race. Overtaker has got a lot on his hands now as he's losing the rear. Oh, can Overtaker just keep hold of it? He does so.
He does, yeah, he does keep hold of it, but Gary now gets sideways as well. Sutty's now got to turn into a sponge and absorb all this pressure from the cars behind.
He is under Overtaker's really just got to focus on the cards ahead. Matt is playing catch up as he's started to slowly catch onto the back of Emo Guy, but I just don't think he has overall race pace as the leaders. Overtaker fastest man that last lap with 23.8, but Sutty Apex doing everything he can. Gary's gone round.
Gary's gone round and Overtaker, not Overtaker, Emo Guy clips it, and that gives him that 4th place.
Such a shame there for Emo Guy. Wrong place, wrong time, and Gary hits the back of him. That just frees Fury out, and can Sutty Apex keep Overtaker behind him? A very difficult track to keep him behind for sure, as the Overtaker is looking for any opportunity to find a way past. But both Lamborghinis lead this race on lap 3.
Yeah, Kenny would be loving this. His teammates lead it. His Overtaker's trying it around the outside. He's gone off the track, so he's got to give the time back, not overtake Sutty, but he's not doing so, and he's overtake. And he's now, he almost forced Sutty off the track there, but he's got to give time back because he went off the track and Sutty didn't put him there. And he goes right, he's going to try right round the outside, and Fury just massively cuts the corner.
Does he? I didn't see that one.
He aimed for the apex and cut across the grass like he was a lawnmower.
As we head into a lap 4, and now the end of this lap, they will be able to pit. So if anybody has damage, they will be able to do so. As Peaceful is now, sorry, carry on.
Overtaker's got the lead off Sutty. Sutty had a poor exit at turn 1, and Overtaker now has the lead. Sutty's going to try and get back in the slipstream, but this is going to invite Fury in. But Fury needs to not get a penalty. He needs to stop cutting the corners.
He does indeed, as it's down to the drivers to decide whether or not if the other drivers are taking advantage. As Sutty Apex goes down the inside, and he's going to try and stick the Lamborghini up the inside, and he does so, but he's got a poor exit, and that just invites Overtaker to carry on through. So now Overtaker holds on to the race lead at this minute, but Sutty will want to stick to the back of that Lamborghini as long as he possibly can, so he can use the toe of the car and trying to gain an advantage. Overtaker now trying to extend his legs, but at the same time Fury is hunting down the top 2 as well. Yeah, he is. Fury's not too far back, and Matt's not too far back either, but Gary has dropped all the way down into 8th. He's now 15 seconds off the back of Overtaker, and Overtaker looks like he's starting to stretch his legs a little. He is starting to get into the rhythm of things as Overtaker sets a 24.0 that lap, but Sutty is a little bit slower, a lap slower there, and I think that's possibly because of a mistake. And Fury's touched the curb, and he's gone round. As Matt nearly has a moment as well, as Emo Guy is into the pits within the pit window. Yeah, Emo Guy would have had damage from his contact with Gary. Does Gary come in? So's Gary, yes. Yeah. So a reminder that the top 5 will not be able to qualify for the next race, and Peaceful has managed to work his way back up into 5th place position after avoiding some incidences after I think he had a little spin on his own. But Sutty Apex isn't allowing Overtaker to get too far away. He's still in that slipstream position. Yeah, he is about half a second behind, but he's run wide a little bit there, and the gap now goes up for a second. So Overtaker already starting to stretch his lead, and the man behind Sutty Apex will not be liking this whatsoever. There's still a long ways to go though, Jamie. They will want to be keeping an eye on how Overtaker gets on, but Matt is there when he needs to be. But at this minute, Overtaker has done the hard work and cleared Gary and Sutty, and is now on his way. It's Audio Sport, our lovely sponsor, in the chat saying evening all, and go on Sutty lad, as he's currently enjoying his time up at Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I'm hoping that Kelly's enjoying himself at this stage. But Sutty crosses the line 24.5 as Matt does a 23.8. He is hunting down the top 2. He is indeed. And speaking of the Goodwood Festival of Speed, I'm pretty sure there's, I'd say, a car, more a van there. That would probably pique your interest. My interest? Yeah, there is a Fury's in the pits. Yeah, Fury is into the pits. There is a modified van there which has an electric engine which has got 2,000 horsepower in it. Oh wow, that's very powerful. I think Kelly needs to go and have a look at that and see what he can do to his van to see if he can make his van go 2,000 brake horsepower. But at the minute, Emo Guy is currently in 8th place with Gary behind him as well. So those two had a pretty poor pit stop. And Fury's come out in front of them. But at the minute, Sutty isn't getting dropped here. He's sticking with the back of Overtaker right now.
Yeah, so Overtaker was the second up the road, but Sutty's managed to get that down to just under 8/10 of a second. And so he's improving on his best lap as well. So he's hunting Danny Overtaker as Overtaker goes into the pit. Now, does Overtaker nail the pit entry? He looks like he has done, because it is a very tricky pit entry indeed. And yeah, he does it perfectly.
He does do it perfectly. That's now released Sutty Apex, who's done a 23.8, so he's finding pace. As he's on his way to try and extend the gap to Overtaker. How quick is Overtaker's pit stop? That is the question. We've got another car in the pits. I think it might be Smokey Devil, and I think it is Smokey Devil into the pit, so he's done his pit stop as well. So we're still waiting on Sutty, Peaceful, Monkey and Matt all to do their pit stops.
Yeah, and Overtaker's going to come out a few seconds behind Monkey Boy, as you can see him there. I thought Monkey Boy's rear wing had disappeared then, but I think Fury's made a mistake, because he's dropped behind Emo Guy, and Gary's not too far behind him either.
Yeah, so Fury has made that mistake. Emo Guy managing to get back in front of him, and I think that's the thing here. You've got to be clean and consistent constantly. Fury has made that mistake and is now losing out as Matt is bringing the gap down. But look at this, Overtaker is being held up by Monkey Boy right now, and it's the last thing he wants is Sutty and Matt are clean out in front, and he's flashing Monkey Boy as well. Monkey Boy he's racing for position here. He doesn't have to give the position up.
No, he don't need to give the position up at all. I don't know whether, I was going to say Overtaker must be able to see that that he's racing Monkey Boy, and he's just dropping off Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy take track limits there, and Overtaker's just flashing quite a bit. If he keeps flashing, yeah, he could be getting a slap on the wrist.
He would be indeed, because like I said, it's he should not be flashing a car that he is racing, as Monkey Boy carries on through, and it's just hold him up. This allows Sutty and Matt to get the jump. This is the problem with pitting early. Yeah,
it does. He's now, say, being stuck behind Monkey Boy. He's now going to look to the inside of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy defends. And Monkey Boy so far is doing a good job of defending from that Lamborghini, but I'm pretty sure Overtaker will be through will be through in no time. Is he going to have a look down the inside here? Monkey Boy covers him very well, but he's just going to send it right around the outside. He'd better on the brakes. Overtaker gets it stopped nicely and up into 4th place.
As he gets past Monkey Boy now and has got clear air, how much can he take advantage of that? Has Monkey Boy just held him up that little bit longer? And I think Sutty and Matt right now should probably think about pitting after Monkey Boy has now been passed and has released him. As we see here, Fury is trying to get onto the back of Emo Guy. Emo Guy is starting to recover.
Yeah, there now is Matt. Matt is in. Matt has reacted to Overtaker being released by Monkey Boy.
He has reacted, so Matt is in.
And Overtaker is just come through the end of Sector 2. How quick is Matt pit stop going to be? It's not a very long pit lane. Matt is in and he's away.
Has this really hampered Overtaker? Because Matt will get to the pit exit line relatively quickly. I think Overtaker will just hang in there. But it's going to be much closer with Sutty. But that last lap that Overtaker needed to do, a 24.0, Overtaker is clearly back ahead of Matt here. And yeah, now he falls behind Monkey Boy, or is Monkey Boy just behind him? Monkey Boy's just behind him.
Monkey Boy is just behind him. Fury is attacking Emo, attacking the other Lamborghini. Emo Guy goes to the inside. Fury trying to send it around the outside, possibly looking for a cutback. He's not quite got it. Emo Guy defending quite well at the minute. When is Sutty going to pit? He's coming to the end of Sector 2, so we might see him in this lap.
Possibly so. And also, how long will Peaceful stay out for, as Overtaker has now dropped Monkey Boy and Matt. So he is on his way to try and hunt down Sutty Apex. But is Sutty going to leave it as late as he possibly can and try and get some good lap times underneath him? But Fury now right on the back of the Scotsman. Look at that background as well. Smokey Devil catching the back of Gary 131. All lapping relatively similar right now. Monkey Boy currently slowest at the minute. But it's all about consistency. It's Fury's going to go right round the outside. Emo Guy's going to have to give him space on exit, which he does so. But he hasn't got a long enough run, and Fury would just have to slot in behind.
I think Peaceful has it. Oh, what's he done? Peaceful,
He's hit the wall.
Oh no! So Peaceful's cost himself a lot of time there because he's dropped behind Matt and Matt Overtaker already. Where's Emo Guy? Emo Guy and Fury are now coming towards the final corner. How quick is Peaceful's pit stop going to be? He's not even at his pit box yet. They're coming into the final corner. Can he be very quick with his pit stop? It's slow.
There's a car off. Fury's off. I think Fury's in the tyre walls big time. Yes, he is. And he's, I think he's at Smoky Devil as well. I don't know where Smoky Devil is. There he is as well. So, not sure what's happened there. I'm going to have to note that one down in my notebook. But big moment there for Fury and Smoky.
Yeah, indeed. And that's cost the pair of them massively. Because Peaceful's now got back out in front. You won't be able to see the two Mercedes in the background. But Peaceful has a 5-second gap over Smoky Devil now, so Peaceful up into the 7th place. That's given Gary 6th, so he can now hunt after Emo Guy.
You can hunt him down. Gary 131 chasing down that Lamborghini of the silence of the Lambos. Can he do anything about that and get himself more points here? Sati Apex still not wanting to pit right now. He's matching somewhat Overtaker, but he is a couple of tenths slower. But is this going to work out for him, or is he hoping that Overtaker will make a mistake and in he comes? But the longer it takes, the shorter the pit window will get. Lap 11.
Yeah, last lap, Overtaker 24.4, Matt 23.7. So Matt was the quickest out of everyone that last lap. Because Monkey Boy's into the pits, but I think he made a bit of a hash coming into the pit lane because he was pretty much at a standstill coming across, and it said damage on the front of that Ferrari. Doesn't look like it, but I think he's just outbraked himself coming into the pits. Where's Peaceful? Peaceful's now coming across. Gary should come across. Is Monkey Boy going to get out ahead of Fury? Monkey Boy is away. Where he's going to be ahead of Fury. Fury now comes into turn 1. The Ferrari is on the power.
Monkey Boy just stays ahead of Fury, and I think Fury's carrying major damage. Got your pen down? I have got my pen. In PN in the chat, as I think Sutty is going through sector 1. Matt has passed Overtaker, and Sutty's into the pits.
Yeah, what has happened to Overtaker? Has he been on the grass? He must have been on the grass a little bit and showing Matt his lawnmower and skills.
Possibly so. And I think Sutty's into the pits. He should be able to jump these two, really. Then
he'll be off the limiter. In 3, 2, 1. Now they're now coming into turn 1. It's going to be mighty close. Matt might just have him. I think they're going to be side by side. No, Matt's going to have him. So Matt has split himself an Overtaker with Sutty, but Sutty looks very quick at the minute. And Fury's got past Monkey Boy for 8th place.
He has indeed, and Monkey Boy goes right around the outside. Fury's had to pit. He has to pit by the looks of things. Looks like he's got too much damage. But the fight is between the top 3, Matt, Sutty, and Overtaker. Sutty has got to run up towards the top end of the circuit. Is he going to get the job done? I think Matt has got the inside, but Sutty with so much better straight line speed there. Possibly look to get past him, but Overtaker is right there as well. This is going to get hot as we reach the halfway point. Overtaker in the chat wins the votes for winner of this race, but right now he's got to get past Sati Apex and Mata Imovic, and look how close he is to the back of the Lamborghini of Sati Apex, and at the minute he can't find a way through. Matt is going to be trying to extend his gap as long as he possibly can.
Yeah, Overtaker's going to the outside. Is he going to be better on the brakes? That's a tough feat to beat Sutty, and Overtaker's just sent it on Sutty, and Sutty's sideways.
Whoa!
He's kept it. He's in the wall. Overtaker's going to have massive damage. He's going to have to come into the pits. No, driver error there. He tried to outbrake Sutty, and you know you can never outbrake Sutty. And with Overtaker being on the pad, he'll have suspension damage, and you know, say from my experience, anyone who's raced on a controller, it is horrible having suspension damage. You can see him going left and right, so he's going to be in the pits for a while and could end up in last.
He could end up in last place position with that damage, and well, Fury has also been into the pit, so Fury's probably going to struggle to get past Overtaker, but Sutty Apex hangs in there for second place position. Overtaker trying to be ballsy on the Sutty send it, but Sutty managing to hang in there. Overtaker's going to drop down to a couple of places. Emo Guy will now be sitting in that third place position, but Peaceful won't be too far behind him either.
No, he won't be too far behind, so Emo Guy knows if he makes a mistake, then as he had, I think he's lagged out.
Oh
Emo
no!
Guy's lagged out. He's lagged out. So yeah, there he goes. So if Overtaker pits this lap, which he'll have to, he's still got about 10 laps left. With that damage, he'll lose countless seconds to Peaceful. Look how much time he's lost to Sutty already. He's 7 seconds behind. Is Overtaker going to come in? No, he's going to continue on.
That's a brave choice. That's bold, that is. Yeah. With the damage he's got, and Emo Guy in the chat says got disconnected. Obviously, he will not carry that qualifying ban. Luckily for him, as it is a disconnection, as it's clear to see, and Overtaker has got a long way to go. I arguably would just come into the pits and get that car repaired. At least you'll be quick then.
Yeah, but say at the minute, he's got quite a bit of a gap over Fury. So Fury, I think he's got about a minute gap to Fury. So I don't think he'll lose a minute in the laps remaining. The gap though is at 9 seconds, and Peaceful's close to within 15. So I think Overtaker's going to lose the podium, and he might lose that to Gary as well. He could lose, and probably Smokey as well. If Gary's going to get through, Smokey's going to get through. But say the possibility of Monkey Boy and Fury getting through is not as high as the others behind. But say Peaceful has already closed the gap to 14 seconds, so have to see what Overtaker's lap is like this lap. But you can see him going left and right down the straight. The gap between Matt and Sutton is about 3 seconds, and Overtaker's now gone off the track. Gary is now on, I think Gary's on Peaceful as well.
He is on the back of Peaceful. Gary's trying to recover here, but at the minute, Matijevic leads this race with Sutty Apex, who's flying at the minute, and is also trying to catch Matijevic, so they're going to have a fight. Peaceful's dropped it!
Peaceful.
Peaceful had a great opportunity here, and he's gone and thrown it away now, as Peaceful does the classic. Smokey's off as well.
Yeah, they're both off. So Overtaker has come in. So this could be a good, with Peaceful and Smokey making a mistake, Overtaker might come out in 4th place. Gary is coming through. Gary's gone through. Where's Peaceful? Peaceful's at the final corner. I think Overtaker is going to be there for a very long time indeed. But Lollipops will to dim up, but that doesn't mean he's going. Peaceful comes through. Smokey on the grass again. He's heading towards the wall, and Keith just brushes it. Monkey Boy is going to pass him as well. So Overtaker's down to 7th. Fury is halfway around the track and is just in front of being lapped. Has Overtaker left? He is away now.
Overtaker is on his way. He should hopefully stay ahead of Fury with no issues whatsoever, but he will be under pressure from the likes of Matt and Sutty coming to lap him, and he will definitely not be liking that for sure.
No, I don't think after this race, Overtaker's going to say that he likes Silverstone Classic.
Definitely not. And
we don't want to take him to Brno then with all the tyre stacks around there.
Definitely not, but he will be on his way and maybe try and recover for a race 2. We'll be at this minute be able to qualify for race 2, as at this stage it'll be Matt, Sutty, Gary, Peaceful and Smokey will not be able to qualify. Monkey Boy, Overtaker, Fury and Emo Guy will be able to qualify.
Yeah, say Matt and Sutty have a massive gap to Gary as well, with Emo Guy disconnect and scoring no points and Overtaker down in 7th. This is good for Jaeger Motorsport to gain some good points back in the championship, in the Constructors' Championship.
It is.
Gary's under pressure from no one. He's got Peaceful 11 seconds behind. Peaceful could be under attack from Smokey. Overtaker has got a 15-second gap to get to Monkey Boy.
Peaceful game. So, Peaceful trying his best to try and hunt down Gary, as we got a couple of guys in the chat as Jiffers, I think, in the chat saying I race in EDC Championship but wanna back to Project Cars. Do you need more members? We're always looking for new members here. If you want to sign up, then head over to our Facebook page, Simplay Motorsport, or our Discord as well. I think the Discord is in the description, but I think it's wrong, so one of the guys might have to drop that in there for you. As we run a GT3 Championship. We do also run touring cars, but I'm not sure what the plan is, as the touring car championship has come to an end. But at this minute, we're mainly focusing on the GT3 Pro and Pro-Am Championship, as we had a little bit of lag there from Sutty there, by the looks of things. But
it's not good. Matt had a bit of a wiggle through there.
As Gary exits the final corner and looking to try and at least keep his car on track, keep it consistent so that he is able to score good points, not just for himself but also for the team, as Jaeger Motorsport will gain massive points with Overtaker down in 7th and Emo Guy disconnecting, so I believe he should be able to get 9th place points, I believe. Saying that, I am sure I should know that.
Yeah, that'll be one for the for the stewards to discuss. I'll tell you what, if Overtaker makes any more mistakes, Fury is going to be through on him, and Overtaker will be kicking himself. But Overtaker, that last lap, a 23.5, the quickest man on the track. He was over 3 seconds quicker than Monkey Boy, so he's going to catch Monkey Boy relatively quickly.
He will be indeed, but can Monkey Boy hang in there for the last couple of laps of this race? And it's going to be very tight towards the end if Overtaker does catch him, but he has to be squeaky clean absolutely everywhere.
He does, and that's not been squeaky clean there. Runs a little bit on the grass. Sutty's lost a bit of time to Matt on that last lap. Matt was 0.3 quicker, and the gap's now grown to 3.5 seconds. And Matt, I think, has got traffic in front of him.
He's got a little bit of traffic, I think, of Fury. There he is. He's not quite on the back of him just yet, but once he does start to get onto the back of him, he will start to hinder his performance, as he will get the dirty air. There's a couple of guys in the back there just having a good little fight. Link to Facebook page, please, as I'll try and do that in a moment. But just keep on going, Jamie, while I try and drop the link into the Facebook page.
Yeah, it's in the minute Matt's got nice and comfortable out in the lead. There's not really many battles to talk about. I think the closest two cars on track is Smokey and Peaceful, and they're about just under 2 seconds between them. But if Peaceful make a mistake, Smokey will be through. But Overtaker, he's got the gap down to 10, now under 10 seconds to Monkey Boy, so he is closing in on him, and he's kind of bringing Fury. He isn't bringing Fury with him. Fury is still hovering the same gap. So Fury actually lapped quicker that last lap than Overtaker, but only by a few tenths. So he's not going to close up that 10 seconds.
He won't indeed, and Overtaker really struggling for this race, but he should be able to come back for race 2. I think the staggered grid probably didn't help him out on this one. But he goes through that section now, and he is on his way to try and redeem himself. And obviously, with him not really in a fighting position, Jamie, let's talk about the next track that's on the calendar, which will be Hockenheim, a circuit we went to last season, or was it the season before? No, last season, because I remember.
I think that was a track before I started doing commentary with Matt.
Yeah, so we go to Hockenheim next, a very different circuit to this one. There's still a lot of long straights and fast corners, but at this minute, I would say that the Lamborghini probably would be favoured at Hockenheim.
Yeah, probably would be. I think I can't remember who won it last season.
Andy. In the
Andy
BMW. He currently holds the record for that track as well.
Yeah, it's a car that's probably got good traction that will do it around Hockenheim. Say, I remember winning in the Audi before having a massive battle with Gary and D Biggs. I think whilst D Biggs was in the Porsche, whilst he was still teammates with you, and having a freeway battle between between us, between us three.
Yeah, so Hockenheim is definitely a circuit that we. I think certain drivers love it or hate it. It's the first couple of sectors for me are quite boring, but and no worries. Jeff, I think. Yeah, Jeffrey. Jeffo, Jeff, congrats, welcome to Simply Motorsport, and thanks for joining the Facebook page. Also, the Discord should be on there. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. Hit the bell to be notified as well. Yeah, it's Hockenheim's definitely a circuit that I think favours some rather than others. As like for example, I quite like Hockenheim for the final sector, but the rest of it I find very dull. Other than turn one is quite exciting, especially at race starts.
Oh yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh, there's a car off. There's a car off. Is that Matt?
Who is?
Matt's off. Matt's made a mistake. Sati Apex leads the race.
Matt's hit the wall. So the silver lining from Matt is it's like 21 out of 22. But Sati, can he hold on for a race win? He hasn't won in so long. He's got fury up the race. The only person who could stop him now is himself. I reckon Matt's just crashed into the wall on purpose just to let Sati win.
I don't know. As Peaceful's dropped it as well. He needs to get going as quickly as he possibly can, and he's trying to get back on track because he knows Overtaker and Monkey Boy are coming. There is Monkey Boy. He runs wide, and look in the background. Overtaker has been catching these two so quickly.
Yeah, but Overtaker's running out of laps. So Peaceful's now back up to speed after his Peaceful pirouette.
Peaceful pirouette, but Sati Apex is on the penultimate lap of this race. Matt just needs to keep his nose out of the wall. As PN in the chat says, I prefer the old Hockenheim flat out through the forest. Yeah, that's a very good version. I think also that was, I believe, when is it Keke Rosberg had an argument with someone in the far part of the forest in the chicane back in the 70s.
I think that was Nelson Piquet.
Might have been PK actually. Yeah, it might have been PK.
Yeah, PK punching.
I'm not sure the other driver.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure PK will be able to first. I can remember who it was. I think they crashed in the chicane as they got out of the car. PK then got out of the car. They were talking. PK punched him. I think it was actually PK's friend at the time as well.
Yeah, possibly so. PN should know that. As we are coming to the end of this lap, Sati Apex has started his final lap of this race. It is on his way to a possible race win here, but also the main fight to watch out for is Monkey Boy, Peaceful, and Overtaker are very close to one another. The two teammates of the Simplay Racing currently going at it in the Ferraris, but the Lamborghini is hunting them down. Is Overtaker going to run out of laps here? And if so, he's got to catch him. Once he's caught them, he's then got to find a way past. But at this minute, these two are just hanging in there. Currently, top 5 won't be able to qualify. Sati, Matt, Gary, Smokey, and Monkey Boy at this stage. But it might still change as Sati is still on his way. He's halfway around the track, but this is the fight we're keeping an eye on at this stage.
That's piece of sideways. If Overtaker gets past a pair of these, he won't be able to qualify for race 2.
Overtaker really has to decide now, does he want to get past these two and not be able to qualify for the next race? But here comes the man of the moment, Sati Apex in the Lamborghini for Audio Sport Pro Labs. Kelly not here to help him out, but it's going to be Sati Apex who wins round 13 here at Simplay Motorsport. Congratulations to Sati. Matt is going to come over some decent points in second. And Gary 131 also on the podium after a poor start to the race. He's going to recover back to the top there. And Gary 131 carrying on the podium streak at the minute. But here's Overtaker! And Monkey Boy has hit him! Monkey Boy with a very late move there. And Overtaker will not be happy with that.
No, Overtaker then cuts the corner and flashes him. So Overtaker has missed part of the track. I don't know whether he's annoyed. He must be pretty annoyed. And he barges doors with Monkey Boy there. Gary, I think, has come across the line for a third. Smokey's going to come across the line for fourth. But we want to keep an eye on this battle. Monkey Boy had Overtaker side by side. Monkey Boy's trying to crowd him out there side by side. And Monkey Boy's lost it. He spins it round and just taps off. Peaceful's going to come across the line for 5th place. Overtaker 6th. Smokey 4th. Monkey Boy in 7th. Fury lap down in 8th.
But your man of the moment is Sati Apex. Takes the win here. Fastest lap goes to Overtaker with a 23.2. And that's it. Headset there. Did a Welsh and dropped the pad. But Sati Apex takes the race win with Matt in second. Third is Gary, 1-3-1. Fourth is Smokey Devil. Fifth is Peaceful. Overtaker in sixth. Monkey Boy in seventh. And Fury bringing up the rear. But I'm pretty sure Monkey Boy and Overtaker will be under investigation for that last lap. Top 5 won't be able to qualify. So that's Sati Apex, Matimovic, Gary, Smokey, and Peaceful. We'll be back in a moment's time as we will get the final race underway here. Race 2, top 5 can't qualify, and we'll see you in a moment's time. Matt, you're wank.
Shut the fuck up, Dan.
You would have said that to me, to be fair. So
yeah, to be fair.
What
and
did
you
you
just
do?
said the same thing. I just dropped it, mate. I was trying to go for a fastest lap, and I just dropped it.
You penis! You gave it to this knobhead.
Rather him than Overtaker.
True.
Oh, him and Monkey Boy in the last lap. Oh, who did?
Yeah.
Saw that
Did
on
you
the
have
stream.
to go to the intermission break? I was then about to see the weather slots.
Oh shit! I can't actually tell you the weather slots, Gary.
Please put a
No,
sprinkle of rain in there about halfway through.
There is rain.
Well, it's not in the first 2 slots. It's either going to be the second half of the race, or it's going to be the very end of the race.
Pointless
From
in
what
the
you-
end of the race. It won't make a difference.
It will.
Right, I'm going to go for a
Nah,
quick
stop
wee a
that.
minute.
I'll tell you what, this G29's amazing.
Fuck off.
How long has that been since our last race went?
Is it G29 pad edition?
Jamie,
That's the one,
all
Gary, yeah,
all I did was load stable, knock it 5 clicks, mess about with the tyre pressures a little bit. And did you see how many times I
How
swore
long
the
has it been
tyres
since
off the
Sutty's
rear?
last GT3 win? Season 4, but I can't tell you when.
That may have been on the wheel.
Bollock, no way.
I've had a podium on wheel. I think.
His last race win was F1.
Yeah. Max.
Wait, that was on wheel. No, it wasn't. It was on palm. Winter winning it, Jamie.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy a nice sim rig and a G29?
No, I'm quite happy with my pad.
That's sitting in the cupboard from now on now.
As long as I come second and you beat Overtaker every week, that's fine.
The thing is, though, if I have time to practice smart, I think Overtaker's met his match.
Yeah, he were a bit naughty on that last lap.
So we've pulled back.
did you see the
to
chicane with me,
within
Jamie?
thir-
You got me
We've
with that?
gained 20 points,
Yeah.
Gary, in the constructors.
I lost the rear and I stayed on the outside expecting him to make the corner and I gave him the place, then he binned it into the tyre wall.
Yeah, that was quite funny. I thought you were going to get damaged from the tyres come showering.
You see how
back
wide I
across the
took it?
track.
I was expecting him to make the corner.
Yeah.
Did you lose it on the bump? That's where I lost the rear.
No, I think he just outbraked himself.
Yeah, because I brought
we know who's gonna
later
get
than I
pole, don't
normally
we?
did.
Well,
Ah,
as me and Dan were saying, you don't try and do a Sutty send it on the master himself because it's never going to come off.
I brought later, mate, and lost it on the. I lost the rear on the bump. So I knew I brought late. But that's what I mean. If he made the corner, I'd have had to give him it.
Yeah.
That's why I see how wide I took it before I re-entered. I could see him hitting the tyres.
Yeah. Yeah, he just went straight into the wall. He just outbraked himself.
The car was horrible them first few laps, like.
The first few laps that he was in the lead for it all.
I reckon
Can
you're
you
on the
boys
soft
hear me?
tyre. You what?
Can you boys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm doing the washing up while I'm doing the interview.
What a guy.
Well, I'm not going to wash now. I'm washing her bottles up.
This is going to get. Yeah,
Is the
how
emo
good
guy
was-
not coming
Jamie,
back?
how good was the start?
That was brilliant. We were
I called
questioning
it that, didn't I?
Yeah.
we were questioning whether he'd jump the start, but DN said no. That was a brilliant launch.
He's just witnessed a Sooty of old overtaker there, hasn't he?
Yep. Well, we might have Argent for this race. He was on his way back from he at the
On
start.
his way back from airport, yeah.
Yeah, at the
The
start
only-
of qualifying.
The only downside of this, if I get damaged, right?
Matt, what's the first round of F2? Keith keeps saying it's Australia.
Bahrain.
I think he's
Bahrain.
looking at F1.
It's Bahrain, then Portugal.
Ah, right. I've not posted the calendar on the F2 page.
What a dick.
Right, we're ready to go. I've invited Emo Guy, but I don't know if he's going to turn up.
I've just invited Argent as well.
Alright, okay. Oh, fuck! I might just give it a second then.
Well, I'm going to go for a wee, so back in a minute.
Dan, alright? Dan?
Alright, Dan.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Dan, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's right.
I'm
just
not
in the
anesthesia,
kitchen
don't worry.
washing up, so...
The bro
Don't
chap just doing a mid-wash in the middle of the fucking...
doing the bottles for the babe. Daddy.
Daddy duties.
You can mention that on the stream. Don't say washing up, but Daddy duty's washing the bottles.
Keeks has just been testing on the wrong track.
Has he?
I haven't even driven F2 cars. Is it any different to F1?
They're
Yeah,
loose.
it is, yeah.
They are loose.
When's that start? This Sunday?
This Sunday,
Yeah.
Oh, God. What
But it's
car
at
was it?
8. I don't know, whatever you pick.
I'll tell you. I'll have a look and tell you.
Oh, my driving rate has gone up.
That's because you
We
beat...
did just win, you spastic.
What?
And you beat higher ones as well.
I think it'd be a little more often than just go on pad, don't I?
Were you on pad, you fucking melt?
Could you not tell?
Yeah, by the end I was like, by the look of him. But it looked laggy as well, though.
Did you not notice all the smoke of me smoking the reeds? How many times would I have been that on the wheel, Matt?
Oh, every single time.
Right.
Just so it's not can. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's in pro, of course it counts.
Nah, hang on. Being on the pad's like winning in pro am, mate.
Do you know if Argent's on his way?
I'll give you that one. I
He
didn't want
didn't
to win,
say
did I,
so. Just
Matt?
start it. No, you
I
didn't.
didn't say it, yeah, I didn't want to win. I didn't even want to be on the podium because I didn't want you to rib me for being on the pad, Dan.
Fucking knob.
Your dad's not bothered, your dad's made up.
Of course he is.
Tables are all up to date.
I've just said to your dad, though, there's no way I could have drove that on the pad, out on the wheel. Not a chance.
Are we going live as soon as it changes?
As soon as it changes. Yeah.
As Gary's doing the washing up in the background.
You can't hear me washing, can you?
Yeah.
Just slightly.
God. Nearly done to be fair. Domestic goddess, mate.
Your dad just said, you're got a good one, aren't you? I don't think I can really bin my sister off. I haven't seen her for a year and a half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live here for race 2. We do have the top 3 with us, but we'll do a quick run of the championship table at the minute. Overtaker still leads the way with 55 points ahead of Matimovic, and third is Fury. quite a bit way off of 116 points, and Gary's now moved himself up to 4th place position with D-Biggs in 5th. 6th is Peaceful Explosion. 7th is Andy. 8th is Emplava. 9th is Emo Guy. 10th is Sati Apex. 11th is Mazda. 12th is Smoky Devil. 13th is KLF. 14th is Monkey Boy Argent, and 15th, 16th is Disco, and 17th is Max. Current team standings looks like this. Silence of the Lambo still leading away, but that point has gone down to 35 between Jaeger Motorsport after they had a solid double podium, and Teletubby Motorsport is still in 3rd place position with Smoking Hot Racing in 4th. 5th is Audio Sport Prolapse, and 6th is Simplay Racing. 7th is Pushing Limits Racing. 8th is Slingshot Motorsport, and 9th is Sneaker Academy. But we'll start with the 3rd place man, who is currently doing daddy duties as we speak. And Gary, race didn't start off too well, but you kept your nose clean throughout the race and managed to work your way back up to P3.
Yeah, it was a good race. Middle 4, had about 4 or 5 laps where the car just felt not very good, and then come back and just kept it steady, really.
Keeping it steady, keeping it clean, and you're managing to score some good points for the team. Obviously, with the highs of winning at Not Killed, do you think that had, and obviously a knowledge advantage of this circuit as well, do you think it's a lot different in these GT cars here?
Well, no, to be fair, you can still attack every corner and chuck the GT3 about. I like the track. Just need to... Still working out the brakes on this Mercedes. It's taking a bit of getting used to, but eventually I'm sure.
Well, going into a race 2, it looks like you're going to be starting pretty much second to last, just ahead of your teammate Matt. But obviously with the staggered grid, you did get the best of starts, but your teammate did. Is the staggered grids a little bit more tricky to deal with?
Now I think a start's a start, and all the cars end up at turn 1 at the same time anyway. So it's just about turn 1 negotiation, really.
Definitely. What can you do in race 2?
I don't know. I'll just finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll make a couple of little tweaks, and see if we can keep it on the tarmac and get some more good points for the team. Well,
we'll let you get back to your daddy duties, and we will see you in race 2 as we move on. As we move on to your teammates, Matt. It all looked so good until a couple of laps towards the end, where you was trying to go for fastest lap and you dropped it, and so second place, best you could do.
I had to make it look good, like I'd dropped it. You know what I mean? Sooty wanted to win on the pad again, so I had to make it look spectacular. No, I just lost it, pushed too hard for a fastest lap.
Well, other than that, obviously overtaking, not having the best around himself, you gaining points in that, you got to feel a little bit better that you go into this race knowing that you got possibly a bit of an advantage with confidence around here as overtaker, just having a bad round that time. Yeah,
it's a shame that we was in for what looked to be a good little scrap towards the end, me Sooty and overtaker, and it was a shame that he didn't. I don't know what quite happened. I think Sooty said he lost it at the chicane. So a shame that he didn't get to the end, and it was a shame that we didn't get to have that battle. But at the end of the day, it's about maximising our opportunity when he makes some mistakes, and me and Gary did just that.
Definitely so. And going into race 2 now, the game seems to hate you once again. Yep. You're going to be starting last on the grid. What can you do from there?
Normally when I used to win, I started last in Pro-Am. When everybody else wins, they don't start last. So Sooty, you've got lucky here, but no, last place. Keep our nose clean, go into turn 1, see how many places we can make up.
Well, best of luck for a race 2.
Cheers, boys, and well done, Sooty and Gary.
As we move on to your race winner, it's been a very, very long time, and I'm expecting him to say the famous words, but Sati Apex, you won the race after an amazing start, which we thought you actually jumped the start, but that's got to feel good finally being on the top step of the podium.
Grazie, della grazie. There you go, I haven't heard that for a while, have you? You heard it in Formula 1, but not in this one. Nah, doesn't really count. I was on pad, I was late in from work, so, but yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, like I said, looked like you had a fantastic start. Me and Jamie, I think, we believed that you jumped the start, but nonetheless, you seem to get the reactions bang on.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start, straight through the middle. The car was horrible at the beginning. To be fair, it was horrible all the way through. I was smoking the tyres quite a bit, as you might have seen, a bit of drifting. I don't know if I'd have managed to control it on the wheel, but still a win. And it's just a shame with the overtake. We come out together and he tried to do me on the outside. To be fair, if he made the corner, I'd have had to concede the position, but then I seen him at the tyre wall, so I thought, oh well, we're on. And then Matt, I couldn't catch Matt, and when Matt binned it, we sort of traded places with times. But yeah, I'll take that.
Well, back on the top step, no teammates to help you out this evening, but I hope he's enjoying the Goodwood Festival of Speed. I'm pretty sure you should be going there at some point on the weekend, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we're going Saturday, so I'm driving down to London tomorrow and then Goodwood Saturday. I'm excited, I haven't been before, so it was on the bucket list, so it should be good.
I'm pretty sure you and Kelly will celebrate with a couple of drinks down at Goodwood, but going into race 2, you're going to be starting 5th on the grid. What can you do from there?
I'll see what I can. I've made a little tweak to try and make it stable, so I don't think I'll be as quick, because like I said, it was just on a knife edge, and obviously the cloud's a little bit different. I haven't done any testing, we'll just see what happens.
Well, best of luck for a race 2, mate. And Jamie, currently Fury fastest man of the session at this stage, but Overtaker will want to try and beat him at this minute, and 3 relatively happy drivers, as it sounds.
Yeah, 3 very happy drivers. Well, one of them being a busy driver, taking care of other duties. But yeah, they all seem very happy, and now focusing on towards race 2, as Overtaker knocks over another marker, and I think he has gone quickest. He has by 9/10 of a second. So at the minute, there's only 3 cars out on track. Emo guy should be qualifying, but he's not in the session, so we're actually down to 8, and it doesn't look like we're going to get Argent in tonight.
No, it does not look like Argent's going to get in. Sadly, his lift is just a little bit too late. Unless he gets in literally this second, I don't think he's going to make it. Obviously, due to issues with the online championship, he's had to might not be able to get in for this one. But at the minute, Overtaker fastest lap at this minute with a 22.7, a whole second faster than Fury at the minute. And Fury's got a lot of work to do, but he will be on that front row as it stands, as Monkey Boy just off the pace of these 2.
Yeah, just off the pace of it. Fury 4/10, but he needs over double that to overhaul Overtaker. He's got to get this. He's really been struggling with that final chicane. He always looks like he's gotten it. He finds 6/10, so he's like just under 3/10 off Overtaker. But Overtaker now coming towards the end of sector 2. Is he up on his time? He is by 1/10 of a second, so this is going to make Fury's job even harder.
As Overtaker comes into the final corner now, is he going to extend that gap to Fury? And at the minute, 2/10 behind at the minute, and
no, he lost all his time.
And back into the bit straight away there. And
yeah, Monkey Boy comes through, but he's had a massive wiggle through there. He was 4/10 up as well. He got on the curb. The curb didn't like it and spat him out like it was yesterday's food.
As Monkey Boy exits the final corner.
He clipped the wall there, so he'll need to go back to the pits and he needs to be quick about it and get out now if he's going to want another lap in. But he doesn't look in any hurry about it. Fury's cutting the weeds.
As Fury comes towards the final sector now, can he improve on his lap time at this minute? And he's 13 thousandths off at this stage as he exits into the final corner. Has he found that little bit more time to beat Overtaker? Monkey Boy is done for the session. It's just down to these 2. He's got to nail it here, and he doesn't improve.
Yeah, he gets one more run at this. Overtaker's over the other side of the circuit. He's warming his tyres up as this is an outlap for him. So he's going to get one more run at this, and he's got good car control, because I think if either of us tried that, I think we'd end up putting it into the wall.
As Overtaker still trying to extend his gap, but I think if he keeps doing this, he's going to run out of time and not get that lap in. But Fury is done, but Overtaker is your man on pole position once again. And Gary's just finished doing his daddy duties, and off he goes, getting ready in the car. But Overtaker will take pole position. He doesn't really need to finish the lap either. No one else can improve, and he'll be starting on the front row once again. And is he able to get the race start that he didn't get in race 1, Jamie?
I'll say he's got the Mercedes. He'll have the Mercedes of Fury excellent. He's not going to be far behind. The Ferrari in 3rd might get a good start, so we'll have to wait and see. Fury will be on the inside. I think it was Sutty qualified 3rd for race 1, so it'll be looking to Monkey Boy to make a start equivalent to Sutty from last race. But Sutty's not too far behind from where he started race 1. He's only 5th.
He is only 5th at this minute, and he's gonna have a lot of work to do, try and get through Smokey and Fury for sure with the Mercedes Grunt, and obviously with the pad he should get a good start anyway. And yeah, it's an overtake. I think this is just basically a parade lap for himself, but Sutty obviously with that win is probably going to go into this race with a little bit more confidence. Like I said, a little bit of tweaking to the car to make it a little bit more consistent, but he definitely looked quick in that Lambo, and definitely able to match the leaders in front. Matt needs to redeem himself after making a little mistake.
Yeah, he does. I don't think I don't think Matt's kicking himself as much as if it would be this man that overtook him to win the race. I'm pretty sure he's quite happy. Deep down, he's happy to see Sutty win another race. Imogo, Overtaker comes to the line. He improved on his lap, and he's done a 22.5, so takes pole by half a second.
So it's Overtaker on pole position with Fury alongside him on the front row. Monkey Boy 3rd, 4th is Smoky Devil, 5th is Sutty Apex, 6th is Peaceful, 7th will be Gary, and 8th is Matahimovic. 8 cars on track, and like I said, a lot of people away. Probably a good thing that there's not a lot of drivers here tonight. But Jamie, there's one thing that we have to keep an eye on is the sky. The weather has been lurking around here. We've had a threat of thunderstorms, and it could happen at any point. Possibly a rainstorm could be lurking around. It was looking about 3 o'clock was the rain coming in, so possibly we could see some weather affected in this race.
Yeah, we could indeed, and that might throw it right up. So everyone's got to be a bit more wary on when the rain comes, because we don't know what this track's like in the wet. I don't think we've ever run it in the wet.
I believe some of the boys have tested already, and I think they say it's a bit sketchy in the final sector, so we'll see how they get on. But predictions for this race, mate? Who do you think's going to take it?
I'm gonna say Matt.
I think on this one I'm going to have to go with Overtaker on this one. He is in the prime seat position for this one. But guys, get your votes in on who you think's going to take the win. I'm going to put a poll up now. Can Sutty get another win, or will a new winner here tonight, as we're going to go into round 14, as I'm struggling to reach my laptop. And also make sure you tune in on I still can't talk. Make sure you tune in on Sunday night, as we're going to be live at 8 PM for the start of the F2 Championship, where Matt will bring in you commentary as the lights come on. The revs rise here, and we are green here at Silverstone Classic, as Sutty does not get away this time, and Fury gets the jump on Overtaker, and Fury will lead into turn 1.
Yeah, unless Overtaker's going to try and hang it around the outside like he did with Matt in race 1. He's going to try. Fury gives him the shoulder, and Overtaker's going to have to back out of that one. So you should have the grunt in a straight line. Overtaker's still there though. Is Overtaker going to be later on the brakes? He knows from race 1 that was a bad mistake.
Smokey there just struggling in the background, missing his braking and nearly hitting the back of Monkey Boy, but he managed to avoid him, and Monkey Boy just hanging in there for 3rd place position. Gary's got right onto the back of him. Matt's moved up from last and up in the 5th place position on his way, but Fury and Overtaker still going at it, but Overtaker somehow in a straight line is much faster. He's managed to get rid of the downforce, I reckon. Fury's going to send it up on the inside, but Overtaker hangs in strong and he gets the run, but Fury just sticking with him. There's loads of cars going wide in the background.
Yeah, they're all looking for somewhere to park up. Overtaker still trying to hang it around the outside. He's going to have to better straight line speed. But it's Fury's managed to cut in front of him, and Gary's now lurking. Gary tries the outside line, which is going to become the inside line for the chicane. Overtaker comes across. Gary then goes to the outside. He's going to try and do what Overtaker could. Is Fury going to box Overtaker? No, Overtaker's just going to come straight up. And he's outbraked himself. He outbraked himself again there. That allows Fury back up on the inside. Gary's looking. He could get up on the inside whilst Overtaker's being pit manoeuvred here at the minute.
He's in the wrong place at the wrong time of the track, and he's going to get caught by Gary there, and Overtaker goes wide, and off track he goes. Clearly did not see Gary on the inside, and he had a nose up the inside of him, and Overtaker drops to the back of the grid. The only car behind him is Smoky Devil, and Overtaker's got to do all that hard work all over again, but it's Fury now leading from Matt, and Sutty Apex is back, as what happened to Gary? he's at a moment somewhere as he's dropped down the order to 6th place position.
I think when Gary and Emo guy or Gary and Overtaker touch, sorry, I think Gary had a bit of a wiggle and went off as well, but Overtaker's not going to be happy with that one at all. It'll probably be deciding on what he thinks the incident should be already.
It does indeed, as we now go into the start of lap 2, and it's now Fury leading the way, but Sutty Apex up into 2nd place position. Can he get the London buses? Is he going to do what Lucas Roth did last night? That is the question, as Lucas Roth is also in the chat saying woo Vamos Sutty earlier on, as we do also have PN in the chat saying I've been testing Bahrain in the wet, lol. Why? And also Peaceful's stepdad saying good luck everyone with the crossed fingers emoji, but Fury leads this race and he just needs to keep it clean and consistent, as he's got Sutty Apex and Matt right behind him. As also Peaceful has managed to stay ahead of Monkey Boy, Gary and Overtaker, who are all relatively close to one another in the background.
Yeah. Fury looked like he ran a little bit wide there. That's going to give Nip an opportunity to Sutty, but he's still quite a way back. Matt is in a good position to make a lunge, but we know he's not going to. Sutty parks in the middle of the track, a little bit up the curb. There's a little bit of smoke there from Sutty, and they're all within a good distance of each other. Now they're going to get in a slipstream. This is where Sutty should close in on Fury that little bit.
Overtaker has passed Gary 131 further back as well, so there's still fights going on behind these guys as Sutty goes wide, and that's Matt down the inside, and that is a position for Matt. He'll be sitting there. Thank you Mama for the carrots for that one, as he goes through, and he'll be happy that I've said that as well. But Gary 131 now trying to get onto the back of Overtaker, who's also trying to get onto the back of the Ferraris ahead of him, as Gary looks down the inside. Is he going to think about it into the right-hander? He's alongside Overtaker, gives him space, but they make contact. They both get off one another and get that old magnetic force between them. And as they go side by side again, Gary's going to hang it to the outside, and he gets the job done. Overtaker is going to slip behind him and try and find a way through.
Yeah, he's going to try and be later on the brakes, try to go for the cutback. Gary gets the car stopped. Where's that Lamborghini going to position himself as Gary spun it?
Gary's dropped the rear, and he's going to drop down the order also, and away he goes. Smoky Devil struggling massively in the background. He's in 8th place position. I wonder if he's got damage to the front of that car, because he's just not on the pace he was before as Monkey Boy goes through. No, his car looks relatively clean, but Monkey Boy now under pressure from the Lamborghini of Overtaker.
Yeah, Overtaker's probably going to be hating the back of this Ferrari, because in race 1 he couldn't get past very easy. Monkey Boy making Overtaker's life a nightmare. I thought the front was going round then, but Overtaker's going to position himself to the inside, but Monkey Boy shovels him off wide. But Overtaker is going to be up the inside. Is Monkey Boy going to break that little bit sooner? You can see the speed difference between the Ferrari and the Lamborghini.
Yeah, the Ferrari Fury has no answer around here. It's just not able to stick with the faster cars of the Lamborghini and the Mercedes. So they've all been trying to rely on their corner speed, and that's not really helped him either. As now he's cleared him, and he's now on his way to try and hunt down Peaceful Explosion.
Yeah, back at the front though. Sutty's going back through on Matt, and that kind of looked to me as Matt was letting Sutty through there, as if Sutty was saying that I'm the faster car, let me go for Fury. But Matt's coming back at him. Is he going to have a look down the inside? These two are now just holding each other up. Matt goes down the inside. Is Sutty going to look for the cutback? Matt gets off the curb, and Sutty comes straight back through. And he's done. If he gets this move done, he's done Matt like a kipper.
As these guys are now going side by side right now, and right round the outside, Sutty Apex is trying to do this, but as these guys are too busy racing one another, and Overtaker's already passed Peaceful, he's already cleared him relatively quickly there, as you can see, as we cut to them, and Overtaker now is on the hunt to try and get back onto the leaders. But as Matt and Sutty are too busy racing one another, Fury is getting away.
Yeah, these two just need to battle a bit more. That last lap, Fury was the quickest. Sutty was on the pace, but Matt was 6/10 slower. But these two were battling for the final.
The question is now, Overtaker in clear air. As I say that, he's run very wide in the background. He's dropped it. Overtaker in the background has dropped the rear, and he's in the grass. He's thinking he's in a core right now and cutting the grass. He's dropped the rear, and he's dropped the order, and he's back behind the Ferraris once again.
Yeah, he's got all that work to do once again, and he'll have Gary on the back of him, but Gary looked like he's struggling a bit more this race.
Pit window is now open for these guys. They can come into the pits.
Matt had a massive wiggle through there, and so he didn't need a second invitation to go through, but look at the gap now. It's 3.1 seconds, so Fury is starting to stroll away with this.
He is starting to pull away, and Fury just needs to keep his head clean and focus on what he needs to do. But right now, Sutty back up into second place position as Overtaker is into the pits.
Yeah, Overtaker into the pits. He's not had a good night at all.
No, he has not.
Yeah, he'll be hoping that he never has to come back to Silverstone Classic again.
I'm pretty sure he will be praying that we never get this circuit once again. As Sutty Apex now ahead of Matt, and is going to try and hunt him down as quickly as he possibly can. But Matt is still right there. Look at him. He's right on the rear wing of that Lamborghini. Can he find a way through? That is the question. Overtaker has done his pit stop, the first to do so. But like I said, Jamie, when does this rain come around? As the clouds are starting to get a little bit darker here.
Yeah, so Overtaker's made his pit stop now, but he doesn't know there's rain on the way. I think Matt and Sutty, with them both looking at the weather forecast, know that there's rain on the way.
Yeah, we're only going to get a light sprinkle of rain as here the rules at Simplay Motorsport. We look at the weather for about 25% is the rain slot. Has Matt got his window wipers on already? He's got the window wipers on. Is he doing a Dimasoki and trying to go quicker? Is that his sign that he's going quicker right now? But at the minute, there's no rain at this stage as Matt is still trying to find a way past him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any rain at the moment.
As we're currently on a lap 7, and Overtaker is still the only man to come into the pits. He's got out the way, and yeah, no rain at this stage. Matt's just damaging his window wipers right now.
Yeah, perhaps he's just not used them a lot and just wants to see whether they were working or not.
Just double checking they still work and the buttons are all still there and working. But Matt still unable to find a way past Sutty Apex at the minute.
Yeah, Gary's now on the back of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy's gone wide. Gary goes wide, but they don't do what Overtaker did and spin round.
Well, Gary's got his wipers on as well. So have they got rain?
It doesn't look like any rain to me at the minute. Now Matt's got his on quite vigorously. So if you watch Gary's, they're quite normal and slow. Cut to Matt's.
Yeah, so if these guys already set it on so they don't get caught. Oh, as Sutty there brakes really early, and I think Matt just got caught out ever so slightly. As Gary says, the brakes on these Mercedes is very difficult to get right. And there you see Matt just missing his brakes a little bit there and nearly hitting the back of him. They are Go Faster Wiper facts, says PN Motorsport in the chat.
Yeah, Sutty's now...
Oh, Sutty managed to hang on to that. Yes, he has. He's lost the rear a little bit, but he has cut the corner as such, so he will lose out here. But Fury at the minute has got a good control of this race. And I think the cars to keep out an eye on, see if it's raining, is the likes of Sutty Apex, who's on the pad. And as they make contact, his wipers will come on automatically when it starts raining.
Yeah, Matt and Sutty just have a little kick, have a little smooch there as they come into...
The problem is here, right?
Come into that.
Overtaker's come in early, right? He's got his pit stop done and out the way. Now he can go into clear air. These lot all still have to pit, but they just don't know when this rain's going to come. So they might have to pit. If it comes in the last, say, quarter of the race, then they're going to have to pit for tyres later on. So, but they still have to adapt to the pit window. So the pit window closes on lap 15.
Yeah. However, the person in third place, I could see just sticking it out on the dry tyres. I could see that happen. Overtaker hasn't really made much headway into Smoky Devil. With Overtaker's pace, I would have expected him to be right on the back of Smoky. He's doing last lap was a 24.4, so the pace has definitely slowed. He was only a couple of tenths quicker than Fury last lap, so Fury's definitely got the pace, but you look at Matt. Look how quick Matt has closed it. Is closing in on Fury, and Matt's bringing Sutty with him. So is Fury struggling a bit, or is that rain coming? Fury's got his windscreen wipe. He's got his wipers on. Has Sutty?
No.
What about Peaceful?
I think that these guys have put their wipers on before, because some of these guys allow the wipers to come on automatically, and it's still quite clear here at the minute. The rain might not come until very late, and these guys will be caught out by it. So is it worth getting their pit stops done and out the way, or do they prolong it until lap 15 and hope that it comes then?
Or is this a little bit of a tactic to get us to go, oh, they've got their wipers on, to make everyone else who's not in Matt or Sutty's party go into the pits thinking that it's about to rain? Is this a little bit of a tactic? Because Sutty's just dropped away a little bit, and Matt last lap did a 23.8 to Fury's 25.5.
Overtaker's gone off again. He's in the middle of the grass. He's not improving out there. He is really struggling with race pace here, and Overtaker loses more time. At this rate, he's going to finish in 8th place position. We should jump Smoky Devil, but if he keeps making mistakes like that trying to catch the pack, he ain't going to catch him.
No, he's not. Look at
Fury's made a mistake.
Yeah. No, I don't think Fury's made a mistake. I just think that's Matt's race pace. Because you look at Fury. Fury was doing a 25.5. Matt was nearly 2 seconds quicker than Fury that last lap, and he's pulled away from Sutty like mad. So I think Matt's just got a better race pace, and he's looking to make amends after dropping it in race 1.
Well, we will see how they get on here, and as they come to start lap 11. My question here, Jamie, has Overtaker gone in and put possibly wets on to possibly anticipate the rain? Or is he just struggling that much?
I think he might. It just looks like he's struggling that much. He's had the one lap pace. As Fury, I think, has cut that corner once again.
I think he has 2 wheels on the curb, but he is taking a lot of curb as Matt does his fastest there. 23.4. Matt is flying and is hunting down Fury. Sutty not able to match the 2 in front at the minute and is just dropping off the pack, but he'll happy be having another podium at this stage, as Gary is right on the rear of Peaceful at this stage. So Gary 131 is hunting down that Ferrari, and once again all the wipers are on. We're on lap 11, and the rain still hasn't come, and these guys think rain is coming relatively soon. They're going to run out of time to come into the pits.
Yeah, they are.
The problem
so they're gonna have to box sooner or later.
The thing with Fury and Fury, Smokey, Overtaker, and Sutty is they can all come in on the lap 15 because they haven't got their teammates here to worry about. For the likes of Matt, Gary, and Monkey Boy.
I thought I just saw a bit of rain. But look at Matt. Look how much he's closed in on Fury that last lap. He's just gonna walk past him. Fury goes a little bit wide. Is there any rain? It doesn't look like it. No, there's no rain currently. But look how quick Matt's Mercedes is compared to Fury. Fury's gonna cover. He's gonna force Matt right to the outside. Fury's gonna try and hold it on the brakes. Matt thinks better of it. He just stays behind for a second, but Matt has clearly got the better pace. He just drops back a tad.
We start lap 12 here, and no one's still coming into the pits just yet. Are they waiting for that rain to come? That is the question. When is it going to come? That is the other question. We've got about 22 laps here, and I think the rain is coming to the very last moment, so these guys will have to make their decision on what they want to do right now because they're running out of time. Gary has now passed Peaceful, but Peaceful's still with him right now. 2:10 separating those two, and Peaceful is just on the rear end of him, but I don't think he'll be able to keep up with the grunt of that Mercedes. No,
he won't be able to at the minute. Matt's still hunting down Fury, and Gary can now try and set off after Fury. There's still no rain, you see some hovering grass. Matt's on the outside of Fury. Matt, is he going to try and hold it around the outside? I think Fury went very tight through there. Matt's going to look for the cutback, but Fury positions his car very nicely and keeps it in front of Matt. Matt's now going to be in the slipstream down towards the chicane. Matt's Mercedes just looks so much quicker. He's looking to the inside. Fury covers. Now Fury has made his one move. He comes back across
Yeah, that's going to be like that. Fury making one too many moves there. It's only one move he needs to make. So we'll see if Matt puts that in. But right now, Fury moving quite a lot at the minute. He's only allowed to make his one move. A lot of drivers have been told off for their driving standards. As we end the poll there, and everyone reckons that Overtaker is going to be your winner. But at the minute, it's not looking good for him at this stage.
No, it does not look good for him at the minute. He's doing 24/7. Matt, I thought, was having a look down the inside there.
Fury had a wiggle, big wiggle there. Is the rain starting to let around? Not quite yet. I think it's literally going to be lap 15. But the thing is, the teams with teammates will have to decide when to pit, and they rub doors there.
Yeah. They rub doors, but Matt is going to have the inside. Fury's going to try and hold it around the brake. Hold it around the outside on the brakes. He's going to look for the cutback. No, Matt positions the car nicely, and he's got into the lead of the race. But can Fury fight back? They come through this corner. You'll see Fury just running that little bit wider. He gets in a 6-3, and Matt has now got to start thinking about where he wants to position the car, because as we saw Fury last lap, he can only move his car once, so he's made his one move there, but Fury's not close enough. If Fury had to go on the brakes, that'd be a bit ambitious. As Fury sideways through that and has lost a lot of time.
We are on lap 14 here, and I think for the likes of for Gary, Monkey Boy, Peaceful, and Matt, they really have to start deciding when they want their teammates to come in, because Overtaker is the only man to have pit in the correct pit window. And at this minute, will these guys be able to come in at the right time? Is there rain lurking still? If I was one of the guys, I would just risk it and possibly put wets on for a gamble for the guys at the back, but there's no rain.
If I was Smokey Devil or Monkey Boy, I would possibly risk it. But if you're Matt, Fury, or Gary, you've got to put the dries on and just go with it, because I think Overtaker will have put the dries on, so he'll have to come in again if it rains hard enough, because if it rains in the last few laps, it might be dry enough to make it back.
Well,
only if they're on the soft tyres, though.
We're coming on to lap 14. Matt, Gary, Monkey Boy, and Peaceful. This is the question. One of them will have to pit within this lap, really, because you can't pit in the same window as your teammate. And Matt's going to carry on, and so will Fury. No, Fury's coming into the pits. He's going to gamble it. What will Sutty Apex do?
So he's going to carry on. Gary has got to come into the pits.
Is he going to come in? Yes, he is.
Yeah. What about Peaceful? Peaceful is going to continue on, so it's going to be Monkey Boy that comes in. So Fury is the first one into the pits.
These guys are going to hope the rain comes right now, but looks like it's not, though. The rain isn't coming down. And is Fury just going for dries? He is. Now, he's just got to hope that it doesn't get too wet. Gary also in. Monkey Boy. All these guys are coming in. But is the rain going to be strong enough at the end to really cause any problems? And
it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain.
It is starting to rain. These guys have just been caught out. They should have put the wets on. Gary's gone back out. So, the rain is coming down. But how heavy is this rain going to be? That is the question. Monkey Boy in the pits, Gary's in the pits. So, Smokey and Overtaker, I think. Where is Overtaker?
Overtaker
he's past Monkey Boy, so he's cleared those guys. How heavy is this rain going to be? That is the question. As Matt's coming into the final sector now.
With it being on lap 15, though, it's going to get wet enough that they've got to put the wets on. But it's not wet enough on track yet. Let's have a look.
It's Monkey Boy. Here, as Monkey Boy risked the wet tyres. He's in there for a long time. Oh, he's hit the wall.
So Matt comes in. We'll see how quick his pit stop is. I reckon he's going to go for the wet tyres here.
As Sutty Apex also comes into the pits by the looks of things. All of the top guys are coming in. Fury, I think, has risked it and stayed on to the slick tyres. But can he keep temperature in the tyres towards the end of this race? And how wet is this track going to get? Matt is in. Is he changing tyres? I think he is, He's changing tyres.
He's changing tyres.
Sutty Apex into the pits as well. Here is Peaceful.
Fury continues on.
Fury does continue on. Is the wets the right thing to do, or is the dries the right thing to do? Sutty, I think he's changing to wets as well. Matt's gone.
Away. Matt's gone. Where's Gary? Gary comes through the final corner. He's going to get ahead of Sutty and Peaceful and Overtaker as well. But they're all on the dry tyres. Matt is going to struggle at this point.
They are all on the slick tyres, these guys. Matt is going to struggle for grip to start off because it is not wet enough, and his championship rival is right behind him. But it's bone dry here. But I know for a fact Matt has tested with light rain towards the end of the race, and apparently the final sector gets pretty wet pretty quickly. But right now, though, Jamie, it's looking bone dry out there still.
It is looking bone dry. But look at the rain. It's hammering it down.
It is indeed. How long can these guys survive on the track? Fury and Gary on the slicks. Matt is your first wet runner with Overtaker on the slicks as well. Sutty is on the wets. Peaceful is on the wets. Smoky Devil is in the pits, and I think he's gone wets also.
He's got to have gone wets also. Fury is the guinea pig here.
He is the guinea pig. Matt is. Look at Matt here, and look, it's starting to get
Look how wet the track is. It's shining.
The final sector is to producing spray. Look at the wet weather here, and I will be honest, everybody. Gary's straight in. Gary is straight in. He's not going to risk it.
Overtaker's in as well. Overtake. Oh, he's going to hit them. Oh, I thought he was going to hit
That was brilliant car control there from Overtaker, getting that car stopped. But Fury is on the slick tyre, and how long can he stay out there? That's the question. Can he control the car? It's wet in the final sector. But is it wet everywhere else? He's struggling. Yeah, Fury's really struggling right now. He's left it too late.
He's tiptoeing. He's tiptoeing around the track. Matt has been handed this win on a plate.
But it is down to Matt now to try and keep it on the track. Peaceful is going to gain as well, as all these guys have to come in and put the wet tyres on. And they knew the rain was coming.
Gary's away.
Gary is on his way, so...
Monkey Boy might get out ahead of... will more than likely get out ahead of Overtaker. Overtaker is now away. Monkey Boy is going to come now down towards turn one. Now, Overtaker's not too far off Gary. And Gary is up to speed. Monkey Boy is going to be ahead of that Lamborghini, which is going to please Matt a lot. But Matt, look at Matt. Matt's already within a second.
That's how much Fury is struggling. As Fury's just managing to keep on driving. He's dropped it.
He's spun.
We knew the rain was coming. They knew the rain was coming, and they risked it for slicks. And it's just got too wet, too quick. And here comes Sutty Apex on his way to pass Fury, but Fury's got to be careful here. Oh, as he makes contact there.
Yeah, he does. I think. But it's difficult to see whether Fury, because Fury might have just spun his rears up, but from the look of it, he come across Sutty's path as Peaceful is going to be up into third place.
Peaceful Explosion is on as Fury once again really struggling to keep the car under control as he comes in. Those tyres have got to be stone cold now.
He's got to come into the pit, but he missed the pit entry slightly. Overtaker up into sixth, and he's hit the wall.
Oh no, Fury! He just needs to get in, put the wets on, and get back on track and finish this race because there's still good points there. Even if he finishes in 8th place position, that's still 8th place points. While there's no other drivers here, but he's going to lose that to Gary, Overtaker, Monkey Boy, and Smoky Devil, I reckon. And as tyre barriers all over the track. So hopefully we should be able to avoid that. But Matovic, with his practice and testing with wet conditions, is now leading this race.
He is indeed, and Fury comes into the pit. So is Fury going to repair his damage, or is he just going to go straight onto wet tyres? It's actually quite nice to see the mechanics actually doing their job and not just standing there. And he's let down. Is he gonna be repairing his damage? More than like he will cut back to Fury. He's gonna go a lap down here. Matt comes through the final. Is going to come through the final corner to go on to lap 19. Fury isn't away yet, but fair play to Fury. He tried to risk it. It didn't work, and he's paid the price for it. But someone had to have a go at it.
Yeah, it's a bit like George Russell going onto the slicks at Canada and just trying to see if he could do it. Fury, and again, being the first man out on track, he got caught out by the rain, and like I said, guinea pig it was, and he wasn't able to deliver this time, but I'm sure he'll be learning from this one and take it to whenever we have another wet race. As soon as he sees Ray drops, he's pretty much going to come in as soon as he possibly can. But Matt is on his way at the minute. He's leading the race with a decent gap of 11.6 seconds ahead of the Lamborghini of Sutty Apex, who's had a brilliant night's worth of racing. And Peaceful Explosion currently up on the podium as it stands, and Overtaker is slowly working his way back up the pack, as he's currently in 5th place position, only 2 seconds behind Gary 131.
Yeah, so as well, there's now puddle starting to form. Look at the big puddle coming towards there. You break on that and you're going around, and there'd be no saving that. But with the normal, say the original Silvers, the Silvers and the Silverstone, today's Silverstone, there's normally massive puddles coming down the Wellington Straight, and I wonder whether it's going to be something similar here. It's a good thing there's not really a big puddle coming through the chicane, because if not, that would make it a nightmare. I think Sutty's made a mistake, because Sutty is now 4 seconds ahead of Peaceful.
I think he has made a mistake, and Peaceful is trying to hunt him down. Can Peaceful Explosion get another position here? And I think that Lamborghini isn't the best in the wet, but Sutty really struggling, and possibly on the pad as well. Pad's probably not the best feel here in wet conditions, but he's going to try and give it his very best.
Hey, it's funny you say that, but I think back in season 2, I had two race wins, and they were both in the wet, in the very car that Sutty's driving.
In that very colour scheme as well, and at the minute he's just got to hang in there. He was a lot slower than Peaceful that last lap. Matt, though, look at his lap time. The only man matching him is Overtaker, and he is catching onto the back of Gary 131. So Overtaker will really want to get another position here over Gary, because he's losing points over Matt right now.
He is indeed, but Gary is not going to make it easy whatsoever. I think Matt is near enough going on to... He's halfway through lap 20. I think Gary's got damage as well. There's a headlight missing on the front of that Mercedes.
Possibly so. Has he hit a tyre wall or something like that? On our screen he's got both lights on, but he has got a crooked left front. So
yeah, he's got a crooked left. He's got both lights, but one of them's not on.
So on our screen they're on. On our screen they are on. So I think he's got damage to the front left then.
He has indeed. So the front of that car is pushed right in. Matt has now gone on to his penultimate lap, and he's nearly quarter of the way through it already. I think he's about to... Who is that in front? That's Fury. But Fury is a lap down to Smoky Devil. He's about... If Matt overtake him again, Fury would go 2 laps down.
He would go 2 laps down, but poor Fury, like I said, he tried it. He's avoiding trying to get a qualifying ban for Hockenheim, and good on him to just finish the race. There's good points for 8th place as well. But Matt going into the second sector here, he's only got a lap and a half to go to win this race, and it'll be another win to his name. I will try and find out how many wins that will be for Matthew, as I'm looking at lap records. That's not what I want. GT3 manufacturer wins, not what I want.
Overtaker's not close enough to Gary at the minute. Matt is now coming into the final chicane to start his last lap, and he will pull quite a few points back over Overtaker. Not as many as he would have liked, but if Gary can stay in front, then I'm pretty sure Matt will be very pleased with tonight.
He will be indeed, and I honestly can't find him. I don't know where Matt's put him on the system, but either way, he's on his way to get another race win. That's really bugging me now.
Where is Matt? Matt is just about to come through the end of Sector 1. We'll keep an eye on Gary and Overtaker. That's the only real battle on track. There's about a second between them. There's now 6-10, but Overtaker gets on the grass a little bit, now goes up to a second. But Matt has been...
Aha, I found it. Took me a while, but Matt will be on his way to get another race. He's currently fourth in most race wins. This will be race number 21 for him as he's exiting the second sector now and then heading towards the end of this race. He figured out the weather, what it was going to do, and he is on his way to hang in there, but Overtaker is still hunting Gary 131 right to the very end. Can Gary hang in there and keep those points away from Overtaker? But it is going to be Matt Ahimovic who is going to take the round 14 here at Silverstone Classic and try and gain the championship on Overtaker. He takes the win here. Second place for another great night's worth of racing is going to be Sutty Apex, but Overtaker is right on the back of Gary. No, he's actually lost time to Gary.
Yeah, he's lost time to Gary. He's about 4 seconds behind.
As there's a vote for driver of the day. Get your votes in, and Sutty comes into the final chicane now to take a couple of podiums here. Matt and Sutty swapping positions. He's going to take second place here at Silverstone Classic, and Peaceful Explosion, if he can manoeuvre the final chicane, is going to take a podium here. It's been a while, but Peaceful Explosion makes it up into third place position, with Gary 131 hanging in for that fourth place position, and Overtaker, not the round he would have wanted. He will come home in fifth place position. We'll have to restart and look over for Hockenheim and try and extend his lead, but not the best night for him. He can throw this one away as Monkey Boy will come home for sixth. Fury, I think, is a lap down already, so he will take eighth place position, and Smoky Devil will come home for seventh place. And as the guys are just finishing up, currently only 2 votes for the driver of the day. Guys, get your votes in for driver of the day. There's 18 of you watching the stream right now. Get your votes in, hit that like button and subscribe, and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a single race here at Simplay Motorsports. And Smoky Devil just coming across the line now, and that should be everybody done here. And Peaceful says he'll take that one, and PN's very happy because that's a Ferrari on the podium. But it is Matt Ahimovic who takes the win here, and I think he's got fastest lap as well. Yes, he does. So Matt taking fastest lap as well. We just need to get Peaceful in the chat. And just before we chat to the guys, Jamie, who's your driver of the day before we get into that?
My driver of the day is Sutty Apex.
I'm gonna go with Sutty Apex as well. I was gonna give it to Matt, but that little mistake of him trying to take the fastest lap in race 1, I think, just tipped over to give it to Sutty Apex. But nonetheless, Matt putting on a brilliant performance here and gaining valuable points over his championship rival. I believe also Matt has done me the standings.
Yes,
he has. What a good lad. He is good, isn't he? That's why he runs this league. But also a reminder, make sure you tune in on Sunday night, 8 PM for the F2 Championship season opener at Bahrain. My laptop's being very slow, that's why I'm waffling right now. But Overtaker still leads the championship. He's got a 41-point gap over Matt Ahimovic at the minute, with Fury in third, Gary in fourth, and Peaceful now up into fifth place position, with sixth is Sutty Apex, seventh is D Biggs, eighth is Andy, ninth is Empalava, 10th is Emo Guy, 11th is Smoky Devil, 12th is Mazda, 13th KLF, 14th is Monkey Boy, 15th is Argent, 16th Disco, 17th is Max. And the team's championship is closer than ever. Silence of the Lambo still lead the way, but it's only an 8-point gap to Jaeger Motorsport. They are hunting them down ever so slowly, as Teletubby Motorsport are currently in third place, with Smoking Hot Racing still in fourth, with fifth place as Audio Smoke Pro Labs try and hunt down them, as Simplay Racing also gaining a few points in that one. Seventh place is Pushing Limits Racing, with Slingshot Motorsport bringing up the rear. And we do have all three in the chat with us, and we will start with the Ferrari man, Peaceful Explosion. Been a very, very long time since we've spoken to you in the podium interviews, but P3, you've got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to this track. The pace of this Ferrari is horrible round here compared to everyone else. I could not get it faster, so I'll definitely take any points I can tonight, really, compared to the speed of the Mercs.
Towards the end of that race, obviously, with the pit window opening and closing, obviously the risk of possibly getting a penalty from that, and the rain lurking around, was it difficult to decide what to do, or was it always lead car between yourself and Monkey? Whoever's the lead car will get priority of what they want to do?
Yeah, we've sort of always ran that. So the lead car, whoever's in front, regardless, unless it's like towards the end of the season, you get priority. So we sort of went, we'll hold out lap 14 and 15, and whoever's in front will go in 14. Whoever's behind will go in 14, and whoever's in front gets that one extra lap. And thankfully, as Monkey went to box, it started raining. So you just heard on the comment, it's raining, get wets on. But unfortunately for Gary, as you'll find out, he missed that call. He was in his box.
Well, obviously, going into the next round of the championship is Hockenheim. Me and you have history there, but luckily no me to get in the way this time. But are you looking forward to Hockenheim, and what can you do from there?
Yeah, my pace at Hockenheim is alright. I think it was stability last time, so hopefully I can just build on the setup that I've got and make it more stable, but keep the pace. So we'll see. Weather helps or doesn't in time, so I don't know what it's like. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Well, congratulations to finally getting back on the podium, and best of luck in a week's time. As we move on to Sutty Apex, another podium finish for yourself, mate, but this time it's second place. You're just swapping positions with Matt, but nonetheless, you've got to be happy with that. It looked like the Lambo was just struggling at the end there with the wet weather.
Yeah, I struggled at the start. I know Matt was running the soft tyres, and I started going on the hards, and when the cloud cover seemed to come over, I lost tyre pressure and was struggling. And then when I put the wets on, I struggled a little bit. Hit the puddle, you might have seen I had a nice little pirouette. But I had nothing for Matt in that race.
Do you think it was a bit of ill preparation for going into this race? Obviously, not knowing what the weather was doing, just jumping in at work, going on the pad. Do you think just a bit more preparation you possibly could have got Matt towards the end?
I think, I had no testing, so I didn't think I'd be that good on the pad still again, but still a pad guru. I'll take that.
Heading next week to Hockenheim, a circuit that I think the Lamborghini should go very well at. What can you do there?
I'll still be probably looking at top 8 again because I'll be back on the wheel, maybe, depending if I'm on days from work. It seems like I'm struggling to get in on time, so we'll see. If I'm on pad again, see you hopefully back up there, but we'll see.
We'll see indeed. But nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win in the first race and a podium finish as well in the second. So congratulations.
Yeah, like I said, congratulations to Peaceful and congratulations to Matt. Good strategy call. Couldn't get anywhere near him.
As we do move on to your race winner, Matt Imovic. You have taken your 21st win here at Simplay Motorsport, and how does that feel?
Yeah, that's a good one, that one, because I saw the weather earlier on in the days and did a bit of testing, and it paid off tonight.
Definitely so, as you're only now one win to equalise your teammate Gary. Both of you 21 wins to your name, Gary on 22. Obviously a little bit more preparation going into this race. You knew the weather was lurking, you were keeping an eye on the weather, but obviously again, same question for Peaceful. You and Gary, the only couple of drivers that had teammates on the grid. Again, was it just lead driver gets priority and when they wanted to come in?
So no, we didn't really do it like that. We kind of just sort of sat there and was discussing it, and obviously knowing that rain was lurking around, if it was going to have came sort of third weather slot, it would have been raining and we'd have all pitted earlier. So by the time the weather started, by the time we got to lap 15, the pit window ending, we'd worked out that the quarter was like 5-6 laps. So I knew that it was coming towards the end of the pit window. Gary made the call on lap 14 to go in, to which I was sort of like, right, okay, you box, I'll stay out. And then I did lap 15, and again, same as what Mike said, really. Gary just got in the pits and didn't get a chance to put the wet tyres on, so we had to pit again. But great strategy from us, great strategy from the team, and it paid off in this one.
Obviously, I hope you're wishing for probably a couple more cars on the grid, because you do gain a little bit more points in the championship on your championship rival Overtaker. A couple more circuits that could suit the Mercedes, but we do go to Hockenheim. Could possibly be a 11 playing field circuit. Sector 1 and 2, possibly the Mercedes might have the advantage, but obviously that middle sector should benefit the Lamborghini more.
Yeah, coming into this one, it depended on the Overtaker's preparation of how he was going to perform. Silverstone Classic's a track that if you haven't done, you're going to struggle at. It's one of them that, with it being an old circuit as well, with it being classic, you've really got to put the time into it. And for an easy track, the minute a bit of weather's thrown in there, and the difference race 1 to race 2 was like, race 1 a bit of light cloud, the temperatures were up. Race 2 with a heavier cloud, the temperatures were down. And I think if the Overtaker didn't prepare well for it, that's probably why. But at the same time, Hockenheim next week is more well known, so I think he'll be back to his best, and you're going to see a overtaker that's going to be giving it his absolute everything.
Well, congratulations on the win and the second place tonight, and also congratulations on Driver of the Day from the fans as well. They've voted you as Driver of the Day. Final thoughts, Jamie, on Silverstone Classic this week?
So it's been brilliant racing, and as we said at the start, there weren't that many drivers, but these eight drivers have definitely made up for the lack of numbers and put on a great show for us. And Overtaker's had an off week, and Matt's been able to capitalise and close that gap up a bit, and we've seen Sutty win a race again, which I'm pretty sure everyone enjoys, and Peaceful getting a podium, which is what everyone enjoys.
Well, definitely so. Dean Masaki choosing Silverstone Classic, and it has produced some old-time favourites and also some new-time moments as well, with Lucas Roth taking his first win and Sutty Apex getting a win once again, and Peaceful finally getting back on the podium. Matt has brought the gap down to Overtaker, but Overtaker will go to Hockenheim feel a little bit more tuned in and ready to go for the next race as we get a strange circuit out the way. Make sure you tune in next week on Thursday 8 PM as the pros will return back to the grid, but there's more action still to come within the week. On Sunday, the F2s will make their debut as they head to Bahrain for the first round of the championship. I believe it's just going to be Matt in the commentary box for that one, or have you got a special guest with you?
No, I believe so. It is just me, I believe.
Well, he's going to feel my pain of doing F1 all on my own, so he will feel that one. But make sure you tune in on that, as I believe that will start at 8 PM as well. And make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday night, as there's no more touring cars. The championship's sewn up as Fury's won the title for that one, as we head to Hockenheim for the next round of the championship. And can Little Leach hang on to his championship lead, or is Lucas Roth and Holty coming to hunt him down? Matt, can he bring the gap down, or will Overtaker respond? Can Sutty get another race win, and can Peaceful actually stay on the podium for another time this season? Those are all questions we'll be asking next week. But for myself and Jamie and all the pro guys, it's good night.
You're clear.
Good night. Yeah, Peaceful! You finally did it, you cock.
Yeah, only because there's half the grid missing.
And it was wet.
It don't matter. It don't matter if there's 4 people there and you get a podium as a podium.
Fucking right.
I'm so fucking happy. Before I go, check to my stream. Take care. Thanks for all the new followers. If you have followed, thanks for all the comments in the chat. Pian, big up you as always. We'll catch you on Sunday night at Simply Motorsport.
Dan, I've got a feeling you're going to get some stuff in from Overtaker. About Overtaker.
What a cock.
He messaged Monkey for that incident and said, "Why did you turn into me?"
Well,
the fact that me and Monkey were side by side, and Overtaker went to go on the inside of the fast right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Wait,
fucking never happened.
And I was going to say, and the optimal line is to go wide.
Yeah, it's wide. It's a late apex.
Wide in, to hit the apex wide out again.
So it's fucking, yeah. Monkey couldn't go much left because I was there. So, and then Overtaker bottled it when he had a Ferrari up his arse in race 2.
He turned in on Gary at the beginning of race 2 when they were 3 wide with Fury.
Hey, he was shocking.
He's a joke. You can't race the guy, but he's going to message Dan all this shit, and he's going to message Dan that he's in the right and everybody else is a cunt.
He didn't message me last week.
Wow, who did he send that shit to? That about Gary should be no further action.
Well, I meant the appeals. I was expecting him to message me about the appeals as well.
Ah, yeah. Well, you'll probably get a message off him, and
him saying,
all I'm going to say is Max Verstappen.
Poor Fury, man. He went for it at the end. He tried to hang in with the slicks and it didn't work. Oh shit! I'm still streaming.
Mike,